Welcome back, everyone, for our little week off. And there's only 2 for now because somebody is extremely late. So we will tell him off when he gets there. Jay is, I'm guessing, a dirty nappy. It's the only thing I can think of right now. There's no other excuses for being late for film club. Anyway, Sandy, how are you?
I don't know. Are the Red Sox losing or something? Maybe he's just
They probably
upset. I'm not
always do,
sure.
though.
They haven't been though. No, everything's going well. Thank you all for your patience last week. I had a minor little family emergency. All is well. Everyone's on the mend, except I still have a little bit of a cold, little rundown from helping everybody else. But really glad to be back at Film Club and really glad to be chatting about The Fugitive.
Yeah, so I've got some things daily to function. I see he's here. Abe's here. AWOL's always here. As things, who's Jade is here. A
Jade
little
is
bit ill.
here.
Yeah, a little bit ill. So things like that. Timothy
Oh,
is
Jade, you
here.
too. Good grief.
Yes, that's it. But we're gonna have some fun.
Timothy, hi.
So before we get Jay involved. This now we couldn't remember. Now this was your pick, wasn't it?
I did. I picked this film.
Yeah, so 93. It feels older. It feels like this is an 80s movie. It's like that, but yeah, it's a 93. This is now Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. Now, when you people who rewatch this, that's the movie. They steal the show, and I would go past that. Tommy Lee does a good job. Like they got, I think it's called the Marshal, isn't it, with Wesley
A
Snipes?
U.S. Marshal. Yeah, the Marshal.
It's just U.S. Marshal. So they got like a spin-off of it, unless Richard Kimble would kill again.
Mhm.
But now, did you watch the the TV series? Because you said
No, I did what my mom did, and I saw this film in the theaters with my mom and dad because my mom was both a huge fan of the television series when she was younger and a huge Harrison Ford fan. So, family going out to the movies. I was a teenager. Go to, yeah, sure, let's go to the movies. And we saw this on the big screen. So and you can imagine certain scenes that we'll talk about looking absolutely amazing on the big screen. Um, and this is a compact story, but it's told in a big way. And it just looked great. And it's one of those films that I didn't remember it when I put it on the list, but when I rewatched it, then I remembered seeing it originally. And then I remembered how cool it looked.
Yeah.
And yeah, you think to yourself, and I thought immediately, number one, I think Jay said he hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Number two, it makes me think, I hope Jay and others actually get to see some films during their lifetime on the big screen. Think about, like, there may be people today young people who may never feel the need to go to the theater for anything, or the cinema, as you call it. That's really sad. That's actually quite sad. No matter how big your home television set is, you wouldn't have gotten the full experience of this film in terms of the visuals and the sound on your television.
I must say, for me, I remember my stepfather taking us to the cinema, and I was like, "What is this?" Like that.
You did
And he
see
was
it on the
like,
big screen. Good.
yeah, and yeah, he was like, "I hated the TV series, and that's why I want to watch it." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Because it never ended."
That was the
It goes,
thing. My
it
mom
just
said
never
she
ended.
liked it because it never ended. She just wanted to keep watching it. She
Yeah.
liked William Conrad, who was um, not the Marshal. I think he was the Marshal, but the way the television series was set up was it was, I think, the Marshal telling the story. So he was the narrator, and then Richard Kimble was a different actor. And yeah, it never did. It was a series of small
Mm.
stories. It wasn't one cohesive story. But this film, um, one of the writers of this film was the writer of the television series. So,
Okay. Yeah. It's weird because this kind of style movie, I can't remember the last time this kind of movie was on the big screen. But it is like it's a thriller. It's kind of a crime thriller, I get like that, but kind of not in
yeah.
a way. It's like that, but this would be like now it would be straight to like Netflix
Yep. I think so.
like that, and it's not like because it's not big budget. You can tell that. Like I would love to like you'll tell us later, of course. So hang on, people, for the budget.
I
But
will tell
oh,
us
sorry, I've got a
all
little bit of
about
a
the
cough. Right.
budget and the editing and the
Yeah.
sound and everything, all the details.
Oh, sorry, people. If I keep on doing that, it's because I keep coughing because I've got a bit of a sore throat. The kid's had his first full week at school, and he's come back with everything off everybody. So that's it. So we're a little bit. We've got both of us have got a bit of sore throats.
Between
So
the
if
2
we,
of us plus your Jade, good grief. I mean,
yeah. So yeah,
I'll blame
so we'll do well.
Jackson. I will. I'll blame my
Oh,
mom
he
too,
don't.
but
He battles for it, so he's fine.
oh
But
gosh.
no,
Um,
but
but I did put this, I did put this on the list,
mm,
and when it came up on the wheel, it took me just a second because before we go into the story, I wanted to talk a little bit about, you mentioned the acting, right? You mentioned Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. This is it. For a split second, I'm not sure why. I thought this was one of Harrison Ford's bad movies because there are films where I don't think he's the best actor in the world. I think Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. I think that's his best role ever. I think, he is Han Solo, but there are parts in, the original trilogy where he could have acted slightly better, but it's okay.
Henry Jones Jr.
Yes,
was named after the
absolutely.
dog.
Absolutely. But there are some other films that I don't think he's the best actor in, and I thought this was one of those, but then when I watched it, I really do appreciate his performance here. I don't know why in my head I had this down as a bad performance by him, but
Wasn't
I
this like at the time he did Patriot Games and what's the other one?
oh, being the Ryan,
Jack
Jack
Ryan, yeah.
Ryan.
So
Mhm.
was it Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger? That
Clear,
was
but
it.
yeah, and you know what? I
And he
didn't
was good
mind
in
him
that.
in
Then
those
yeah,
either.
no,
The one
it's
I hated him in was as President of the United States in Air
the
Force One.
Air Force
Not
One, yeah.
Air Force One.
Yeah.
I
That's
really
just
do not like him
that's
as
not a good movie though. That's not
mm-mm.
bad down to him. That is just not a very good movie.
No, so I don't know what it was. I can't
Mm.
I can't put my finger on why I thought this was a bad performance.
But
So,
then why did you put it in? Because
oh
it's a
no, I
good
put it in
story.
because I love the action. I
Okay.
This is an action film. From the minute this film begins, you're in the murder already. The murder is
Well,
happening
yeah.
while the
Well,
credits are by.
I like that because you get the Chicago scene.
Yep.
It's like this is set in Chicago, and I do like how like what we find out later from the judge and the trial. It's a brutal murder. She's
Oh,
been
yeah.
brutal. Look at that! Who just turns up? Come on, Jay.
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing.
Good. I thought I was going to be a little later than usual there. Kind of caught me by surprise a bit. Glad to know I didn't miss too much yet.
No, we just, I had just shared, why I put this film on the wheel,
Let's
and
get
we
back.
both did see it on the big screen when it was released. Now, Jay,
Hold it.
please,
What? I'm just gonna say
I
it.
wasn't going to say
I
it.
don't,
You
I
weren't
know,
even. Were you even born?
no,
93.
I would have been, depending on the month, I would have been one or under one,
okay.
or either just under or just
We
over.
know that
Get
wasn't going to happen, but you hadn't seen this film before this weekend, right? Or had you seen
Well,
this
so
film?
this was one I had seen kind of in pieces as a kid because
Okay.
back in like late 90s, early 2000s, TNT and TBS, those channels here in America, I don't know if you guys get them across the pond, but they were known for these 90s, 80s action flicks and things like that on like Saturday mornings, Sunday, weekend mornings, essentially, and even throughout the day. So like this one, The Negotiator, all those kind of movies were ones that like used to always see in bits and pieces.
Okay.
But this was the first time actually sitting down, watching it full beginning to end, unedited.
Good. Well, we're gonna, as we talk through the film and certain scenes, I'm certain that I'm gonna highlight like what was much better to see on the big screen, because this film was impeccably edited and was, honored with nominations for awards for the editing. And also got nominations for sound. And I noticed a huge difference watching it on my television this time versus the impact it had on me in the theater. And I'll point that out as we go through a few scenes. James we were beginning to talk about the beginning of the film, but since you're here, Jay, I had planned, after I talked about why I put it on the Wheel of Film, I did want to point out a few other actors other than the main two, other than Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones, before we start talking about the film, because I want us to point out some scenes.
Before you do that, who forgot that Julianne Moore's in this?
Yeah.
For funny like, because I don't think I had ever seen the scenes, like scene and a half that she's in on any of the TV runs that I had seen of it. So when I saw her name at the beginning, I was like, oh, Julianne Moore. I didn't know she had a big role in this. And then sure enough, she really doesn't.
Yeah. But let me talk about a few other folks just so we can keep our eyes open. So first, the gentleman who plays the one-armed man, Andreas Katsulas. Does anyone know where they may know him from as well?
He looked a little familiar, but I didn't pinpoint anything.
If you're a Babylon 5 fan, those folks in the chat might be. One of the all-time favorite characters.
Oh my! Just as you said
Jakar.
that, I know who it is. Oh my!
It's
yes.
Jakar.
Yeah, you just
his facial features, right? He's even with all the makeup and the prosthetics.
Yes.
As it were, on his face, he had that. His facial definition is Jakar.
When you said it, I was like, oh yeah.
And his accent definitely is Jakar. So that's Andreas Katsulas. So look out for him. The next time you watch it, look out for that, those expressions. Now, I also want to point out the guard, who's loading after Richard is convicted, and he's loading the chain gang into the bus, and then he cowardly, he had left Richard to die. The hefty guard. His name is Richard Riley. Now, I knew he looked familiar, and of course I looked him up, and he definitely played in another film that we've discussed. He's the banker in Casino. He's the bank clerk.
Oh, I knew he looked familiar too. I just couldn't get him.
He's one of those ones, but he feels like, you see him a lot in movies, but he's always like the C actor.
I'm so glad you said that we see him a lot. I think, if you go to IMDb, he probably has the most credits of any human being.
So what's his name again?
Richard Riley. Riehhle.
Richard Riley. Just have a look at on the.
Just going back 5 years, he had like 70 credits. The man has been in every television show there has ever been in the United States.
Still going strong as well. Born in 1948.
Yeah, he's 70.
Still going strong.
And his face,
oh my God, Jay. He was in Bruce Gigolo and he played a male gigolo. That is awesome.
I don't remember him in that one, I gotta say.
That's it came up. Office Space, he was in Casino, Man from Earth. Oh. Yeah, so, he's done a lot of B movies, but yeah.
He does. The man is a workhorse. So I just put his name in chat, but I'd wager to guess he may hold the record for the most credits in IMDb, because it just kept scrolling and scrolling and he probably was in Babylon. If I should have looked Babylon 5 up, he probably was in Babylon 5. but where he was not on our list of actors before because he was way down the cast list for Casino. Oh, he's on there now because I'm giving him credit. Now let's get up to like some more main characters. We have another actor now who has appeared 3 times in our films. So joining Al Pacino and Josh Brolin is Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah.
He plays one of the marshals, one of the subordinate marshals. He was also in Goonies, and he was also in The Matrix. So now we have 3 actors. And then, of course, Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. Now, both have 2 films that we've reviewed, Star Wars for Harrison Ford and No Country for Old Men, but for Tommy Lee Jones. But Jay, I'm so glad you joined because I really wanted to share this with you. You selected a film where Tommy Lee Jones is a law enforcement officer who's chasing a guy who has to stitch up his own wound in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I picked a film where Tommy Lee Jones is playing a law enforcement officer chasing a guy who has to stitch up his own wound in a bathroom. And it's almost the same wound. Or no, was Javier Bardem, was that his leg or was it his
Javier Bardem,
side?
yes, his was his leg, but didn't Josh Brolin stitch something up himself too at some point?
I think he did
Or
too.
am I just
think
thinking
they
of?
both did. They were both messed up. But how coincidental for the wheel of film. And it's like, it's, well, Tommy Lee Jones is almost always some kind of authoritarian.
Well, we'll
figure,
see
right?
him in another law enforcement role when Men in Black comes up. Different kind of law.
Wait till Men in Black comes up. That's so, yeah. So I wanted to point out all that serendipity and just kind of point out those performances and those actors as we go through and talk about the film. And I'm sure there are other actors. You mentioned Julianne Moore. There's Sailor Ward. There's Jane Lynch. There's
Sailor Ward is she always plays like lately, like every single like a senator or a house representative of like the wife of a president or something like that, doesn't she?
She has that look.
She's like that, yeah.
It's a very serious look. Like you can't take her in something silly, I don't think. So anyway, so that's the cast. Now, as we said, the film begins with the murder. The murder's happening as we're watching the credits.
But I like it because we get like, it's like how they shot it, because I said like it's a brutal murder, but they get Chicago and then they do something clever. I think this is quite clever because this is a 12 and I looked at that. So what would that be in the US? What, this is a lot of 12 rating, so you can watch it.
PG-13. Yeah, ours is 13.
Yeah.
Really? This was 13? I didn't even notice that. I thought it was, I assumed it was rated R just given the material. I did not realize it was PG-13.
But this is like, you see the you don't see them any graphic because they do it like this. I think it's quite clever. It's like you see the kind of the back and forth between what the crime scene is with the police going around and then the actual kind of a struggle happening, but you don't really see anything. You get to see this kind of monochrome kind of. I think this is quite good. I think
do
this is quite clever. I think I like
really
this.
A clever way to keep your rating down in terms of, putting this movie in front of the, what is it? I forget who does the rating. Is it FCC? No, FCC doesn't do the ratings for movies. Who does the ratings for movies?
Oh, it's a separate board.
Yeah, I know it's something separate. I can't remember the name of what it is, but that board that, oversees the ratings for movies. It's a great way to kind of get this one, lower on their rankings so that you can get,
because you can't,
you want PG-13 most of the time because it can get to more audience. So fair enough on that part.
It's clever. Like you don't see it. You can't, like, I'm guessing they have, like, if you have red
blood, right?
You go red. You don't see anything really like that. You can't see the murder. You don't see any impalement like back into the brain or whatever. You just see this like little like clips back and forth. And then of course, and I think it's quite clever because like and that's what Sandy's right, is like this is literally the credits are rolling as you get this, like, and then of course you get the introduction of like Richard Kimble. We don't know what's going on. He gets handed a jacket and he gets kind of not nicely, marched out with the police. He's not in handcuffs, so you don't know what is really going on. And then of course we get now the flashbacks, what we get kind of the reasons behind the murder. The first one of Kimble is at a charity event for a pharmaceutical company for children, an orphanage. I can't remember what it was like that. And there's a fashion show going on, and it's literally anybody who's a high up in a doctor having a bit of a jolly, let's say, and they're all trying to mingle. And then we
and expected to whip out their wallets and
Yeah.
donate to whatever cause it is. Yeah.
knowing they'll get kickbacks.
Mhm.
But we get then Helen Kimble, our first one, who is so she's there, and again it's quite clever because they make her look glamorous when you first see her. So I like that. So it's quite good how they've cut the scenes purposely. So like they've got the murder happened, you've got the location, Chicago, you've got the police are there, and then you've got this scene, but then you've got your murder victim is glamorous because you already knew that in the cutscene. So it's very clever. And then of course we get how introduction to kind of I suppose the chess pieces, the like that is the best way to put it, because they're not the main characters. And of course we get, I forgot his actual name, because
Nichols.
You know what? Is it Nichols? This is the thing with this movie, what I like, because Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford, they do so well in this. You don't really need to have.
You don't care about anybody else.
You don't care about, like, do I need to know anybody else's name? No.
To be honest, I don't think I really registered anybody else's name. Nichols sounds familiar from Sandy having just said it, but I don't really even like the guy who's in the Matrix, his character, Joe. I always screw up his last name, but I don't even know his name. I don't know the other characters' names except Sam, Kimble, and now I remember Nichols now because it was just said, but I probably wouldn't have been able to have said that for $100 if you asked me to.
I had to write them down.
But that's it, like, because
I don't know his wife's name. I can't remember what his wife's name is.
Helen.
Oh yeah.
Do you care? Do you care?
Well, and I would like to say, like, I don't mean that in a bad way. It just doesn't really matter in this movie.
No, it doesn't.
It's just not a big deal.
But this is what is great about this, because like it's sped up. It's the first 20 minutes. It's contained. It's telling you everything you need to know of what is going to happen in this movie, and it's such a this part we're going to click back, we're going to click forward, we're going to do that, and it's well done. Like I say, Sandy, you said like about the editing. This opening 20 minutes of this movie is edited to perfection. It is. It's
It is, and I'm sure it's been studied, like, for other films, how not to drag things out, how to tell the story without over narrating the story. The other thing you get out of this scene, you not only get the players, you not only get that they're all physicians, but there's this big pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
You get the glances between Harrison Ford and Celia Ward, Richard and Helen, and they love each other. Just from those few little smiles, the little smile, the little glance, and that she doesn't even need to tell him, get me out of here, I'm in a boring conversation, and he does. And the way they hold hands in the car, you need to know that, right? At this point, you need to know that, because you need to know that he didn't kill his wife, and you know it automatically. Now, would there have been a huge curveball at the end if indeed he would have killed her? Well, there was the television show, of course, that said he didn't kill his wife, but through this interaction between not just them two, but the other characters involved, he couldn't have killed his wife. You know that. And they've put that in very few words, but a few glances and a little handhold.
Yeah, and I'll say it's Harrison Ford. I think I know him in one movie. That is probably the bad guy, and that is it. But yeah, so we get to the interrogation again. They're going back and forth. So the interrogation, and I do like how he's trying to explain everything in the manner, because he's academic, I'm guessing is the best way to put it. He's like, I remembered what I remember, and this is it, and I will tell you what I can't remember. But everything he's saying is putting this kind of doubt. They're like, he's like, the blood's under the fingernails, you know, like he's got the like she's scratched him, he's covered in blood, and yeah, he's.
So I will say I found their reasoning for convicting him here, not convicting him, but for the police officers at least to be conviction to have conviction in believing he's their culprit. I found the reasoning to be a little odd because it's just like, oh, his fingers are all over his fingers are all over the lamp and his wife and the weapon.
His house.
It's like, yeah, it's his house. It's his lamp. It's his wife, and that's his weapon. So obviously,
easy conviction.
Going to be all over this. That's why I was just kind of like, even like skin under the fingernails. I'm like, still doesn't really say anything. I'm like, it's very possible. I mean,
he's a doctor. He was trying to save her. He was
right. Oh, that right, like that. In the case of this scene they walked into, that's the perfect explanation for that in one way. And then just in general, like, I mean, they're husband and wife. They're going to be intimate. They're going to be times when you scratch. It's not super surprising that some particles of her skin would be under a husband's fingernail, especially considering they're clearly a loving couple. I mean,
but the one thing they did say is that there was no forced entry, and only the maid had the key, and the maid had an alibi and had the key. So
now I will say, I thought it was very well done, and I think this film, like, what was the other film we said? Rear Window kind of set all the cliches, or no, The Sting. We said it made all the cliches that everyone else followed. So when you watch it, it might look like it was following all the cliches. I think this film also did the same in a way where I think it was purposely not trying to be cliche, because think of the other films that we've seen where the local police department is doing their best job. And when the feds come in, they mess it all up. And here we have the reverse. We have the locals trying to quickly close a crime. They're really the ones who don't care. They make this conclusion that, well, what's his motive? She's rich. Well, he's a surgeon too. Like, he's rich too. Oh, she's richer.
She's
that
richer.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
That
but
makes
isn't it like in? Sorry, I'm going to jump forward. So we go to the things. We go to the court case, because I think we're getting to that point. Is where they play the 911 call. And she's late in everybody's head. Even at this point, you're like, she's just crying out for help.
Like, he's there.
Going, Richard,
help me! Like, he's
I mean,
there.
who else would you? And who else would you call for? Like
Superman.
You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna call the Ghostbusters. You're probably gonna call your significant other first. Call for their name first. I thought that's one of my flaws in this movie. Is that I just thought the pile of evidence they could have put up against him to frame him, and not necessarily that the police were trying to frame him, but from the sense of what will the guys behind everything that happens. You just would have thought the idea of setting up a framing scenario could have been supported by some better fake evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had any evidence you could have come up with. You were writing a movie here, so it just could have been a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I agree. But I do like making the local police look bumbling, and they were, and making the feds look a little more professional, which they typically tend to be, even though they do stumble through things and mess things up too.
And
I mean, take Die Hard, for example, Fair
enough. Speaking of the local police in this movie, did either of you recognize one of the main cops who was interrogating him from another movie that we're going to have on our list?
Ooh, tell us.
The gentleman with the kind of, I think he had white hair in this movie too. That's what I usually see him as. But his name is Ron Dean, and he plays Wirtz in The Dark Knight, one of the cops that Joker, Harvey Dent ends up at the bar. After he becomes Two-Face, he kind of finds out that Wirtz was one of the ones that set up Rachel and all that. He played. He also shows up, I think, in the beginning of the movie, or towards the beginning, where Joker comes off the elevator at the Bruce Wayne fundraiser, and he's kind of hiding behind one of the cops, and then he throws him out of the way and walks into the room. That was that gentleman.
Oh my gosh! And I knew I saw him in something else. He's in Nixon, and he's in Watergate. He's another one that's got a few of those other credits.
There you go.
Yep. So
all good.
All right, we're gonna keep looking.
Once we get the doc,
we're gonna find some things, but I do like when he gets the judgment. We know exactly what is going to happen. Now this becomes from I think right, Albert has said it. it becomes from a kind of criminal murder investigation straight into a chase movie. Because now we get at this scene the judge hands down the death penalty. So he's now going. I always thought, and when I watched this, I think there's a time lapse.
I wanted to mention that, so I wrote a note that there are parts of this film that really you go for about an hour and 10 minutes into this film, and it's one day. You know, the day that the accident happens and he's running and whatever. But then there has to have been a huge gap because one of the other pivotal characters, when he finds out he was killed in a car accident, he was there at the night that Helen died. He was there at the event.
Yes.
But obviously trials like this take forever.
Right.
They just do. So it probably was a good year before he was on trial. And then there's time before sentencing. Now, he's a smart guy. He's a surgeon. He most certainly, as would I, if God forbid I was framed for anything, request a bench trial and not a jury trial. I am not handing my life to a jury of my, quote, peers. That ain't happening. And so he probably had a bench trial, which sentencing would be right after, which would shorten it up a little bit. But it still would have been that's where that year would have happened.
Yeah, that's where I pinned it as well, because I didn't pick up on a time jump until just what you said about the other character and the car accident that we'll get to later on. And then immediately I start going back in my mind. I'm like, but where the hell was the time gap? I don't remember there being one. And I had to imagine it was the court process. It was from the booking at the police station to when we finally get the verdict, or the sentencing rather. That must have been, roughly the year that had passed.
Yeah.
And then it also made a little bit more sense too, because when we get to the next part, you'll notice that one of the inmates calls him Doc, like they know who he is, and they must have he must have spent some time as an inmate in a prison around these guys where they know, that's that guy.
Yeah, because one of them
allegedly deleted his wife.
What did he say? Like he says one of them, doesn't he? Later, be good, doesn't he? So he knows him. You be good, doesn't he?
Yeah, like they know each other. Yeah. So there must have been some time where he was in prison with a lot of these guys.
I'm guessing like they're like yellow and green when we see we get the bus, don't we? So we get they're off to the correctional facility.
I imagine that yellow was death row. And then green would have been just your other inmates going to a different facility.
Yeah. So we get that, and and we got there's 4, 5 inmates, I think they're on this.
I think was it 4? I thought 4.
There's a handful.
The two green guys that we actually kind of see have some activity in this scene. This guy, obviously Richard, and then I didn't remember seeing others, but they could have been. Yeah.
So they give this guy a little bit of a nod, and his distraction is the foam at the mouth. So how, we don't know.
Impressive talent, I guess.
Yeah, really.
You can do that on command. I've seen people burp on command, not foam at the mouth.
But and then of course the younger of the guards go, look, we need to help him out, and then the one, Sandy, you said, what we'll see in a minute, has sit down. We're near the facility. He'll have to wait. And then everybody's like, no, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. He gets in the back, like all hell breaks loose.
Well, he's made a weapon from a toothbrush, and
a shiv.
Takes a good swipe at that younger guard, and
a domino effect of awful
Richard Riley character starts firing the gun off, and he's no match for the prisoners. Prisoner takes the gun and takes out the driver. No one seems to care. The bus is now not being driven by anyone. And of course we're on one of those roads. Yeah. And of course this bus is going to not just tumble, but it's going to tumble onto train track.
And it's going to do
this is it.
Absolutely fantastic.
And he's right. We're now going to a chase movie. It goes
Yes.
full
Every
in
second.
Well, you almost get so much. You get a bit of a murder mystery. You get a little bit of a prison break. You get a chase. I mean, you get a lot of different crime themed themes, I guess is the best word to put it.
This is 18 minutes in when the bus crashes. 18 minutes in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny you mentioned that, because obviously you guys are mentioning how quick this movie just establishes everything, and I think it's great. It's efficient. It's quick. It gives you everything you need to know. Well edited as well. But when you get to like probably about to the dam scene, I feel like everything's moving so fast that by the time I hit there and started watching the rest of the movie, about 30 minutes after that point, I was kind of like, oh man, this movie's kind of long. Like,
are you exhausted by then? Yeah.
Well, it just set up so fast and so quick that I was like, oh man, this movie's really moving. And then it doesn't necessarily slow down. It just takes longer to tell the rest of the story, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to criticize it as, oh, it got too slow. It was just a bit of a surprising kind of slower pace for the rest of the movie versus this beginning portion. By the end of it, I was like, wow, I did not realize this was going to be a 2-hour movie. It was interesting. Again, I don't think it was an issue or a flaw by any means. It was just interesting. I can't think of a lot of movies that started so quick and efficient and then just kind of slowed down the storytelling. Again, in a good way, but just very different than the beginning of the movie, like this one does.
Yeah. From this, we get Sandy again. The names are going to go for the other characters. I don't know his name, but he is shouting to Kimble, "You're a doctor. Help him because the other guard has been stabbed." Everybody's all over the place, and Kimble says, "Uncuff me then." And he throws him the keys. At the moment, he's only uncuffed his arms to kind of give him out. But what they see is, unfortunately, they've landed on
not just on train tracks, but there is a train coming. I mean, what are the chances? Train track and a train is bearing down.
Yeah. That's it, yeah, and I love it because the train that I don't think even tries to put the brakes on.
You can't. There's no sense. There's no point.
I'm not gonna even go there. But yeah, we get.
I'll be honest though, I felt like the train took a lot more damage than I would have expected it to. I kind of would have thought it would have just plowed through it and done more damage to the bus. I didn't expect the entire thing to derail. But I mean, 90s movie.
I don't know. Yeah, but your trains in some states are like they go on for like miles, don't they?
Yeah, they're long ones.
If that's a non-passenger train, let's say it's a commercial one, and like is carrying, that's gonna like weigh tons, and something hits it's gone. Yeah.
There are YouTube channels where you can like see the satellite images of how long some of the trains are. It's really
crazy.
Cool.
It's crazy. Yeah. You get stuck behind one, it'll drive you nuts. If you get stuck in the train when they come down, and it's oh god, it's crazy sometimes.
But we get this great scene like that. So I'm guessing Harrison Ford did his own little stunt there. At this time, he probably was doing his own stunts. But yeah, he kind of goes back, looks for survivors, and he finds
gets a hand up.
Gets helped, hand up by the other inmate, who.
We'll just call him the big guy. Big guy.
I don't remember his name either.
I don't know his name, but yeah, he's tells him, whatever you do, don't follow me. He's like, I'm going, whatever you do. So yeah, it's he's got the key as well. So now they're uncuffed. They're now both on the run, but we know now that Richard has been hurt on the side, hasn't he? Got like a gash wound. From the impact of the train, and then it goes straight into. I loved it because it goes straight into. We're straight into the marshals are here. So we have the local officials doing the scene, and everybody's dead. They must have died. Don't write about it. We get the
liar,
like, hello, do you want to change your statement?
I tried to help everybody. They're all gone. I tried to help, and then and
I love it.
Got the keys? Who had the keys?
And this is where now I'm going to say it. Even though this is Harrison Ford and Richard Kimble, Tommy Lee Jones steals this movie. I think just the commanding presence he gives us the Marshal, and he owns it. I just think how he just presents himself and like that. And Sandy, did you say he's younger than Harrison Ford.
He's younger than
considerably,
Harrison
isn't it?
Was it 4
By like
years?
a good couple. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years.
I think it
I
was
was
4
shocked
years.
when I heard that.
I was
But-
too, because he's always
So-
looked like an old man.
So funny
He's got
little
them
anecdote.
lines, hasn't he? He's got them.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got those lines, hasn't he? So that's
So
he's
funny
always
little
That word
funny
is
little
wizened.
Yeah.
funny little anecdote for Harrison Ford. My wife is into movies, but not like super into pop culture. Like she watches them and watches a lot of them because I want to watch them. Not because I want to watch them, because I want to show her them rather. So she was somebody who's not super familiar with really Harrison Ford, and like she knows who he is and would recognize him. But not like somebody who's seen a lot of his movies or things like that. Like I'm not even sure if she's seen the original Star Wars or just maybe some of the prequels when we were kids, that type of thing. And I don't believe she's seen Indiana Jones. Like she doesn't really know like too much about Harrison Ford, just knows, big famous actor from back in the day. However, she is more familiar with him recently because she's been watching the show Shrinking, which is one of the shows he's been doing lately on Apple Plus. And obviously we all know what Harrison Ford looks like today. So today when we were watching the movie, or actually last night when we watched the movie, I was like, would you believe it if I told you that was the old guy from Shrinking? And she was like, no way. She's like, that's Harrison Ford? I'm like, yeah, that's Harrison Ford. And in the 90s, she's like, how old was he here? I'm like, I want to say in his 50s, maybe 50s in the 90s.
So he's 83 now.
This would have been roughly 30 years ago. So 50s.
So 32, is that 32 years ago? Oh my God, 32 years ago. So yeah, he would have been 51.
Yep.
Tommy Lee Jones would have been 47.
Yep. Well, we looked it up immediately afterwards, because then I was like, now would it shock you if I told you Tommy Lee Jones was actually younger than him? She was like, her mind was blown by those two things because, I mean, Harrison, if you never seen his older movies like Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, like you've only really seen him a lot older, if there's anything more recently that he's been in, which for her was that show. It's good show, by the way. I recommend it. I've only seen the first season, actually. I haven't seen the second, but she really enjoyed the second season. But yeah, so that was a fun little. I think I completely blew her mind when I was like, yeah, that's the old guy from Shrinking. She just was jaw on the floor. Like, no
well, then
way.
she should watch American Gigolo and see him when he was a teenager. Well, I mean, like.
Yeah, that'll
Not
really
American Gigolo. I'm sorry, American Graffiti. What am I saying?
You're thinking of Deuce Bigelow still.
Yeah,
I knew
I
did Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow did a sequel called American Gigolo.
I was about to say, I've not seen this movie. I was like,
I knew what you
American
meant.
Graffiti.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, and then I was like, yeah,
That's
he
the
didn't get his
cowboy.
break in acting till late. So he was always kind of looking older, even when he was, in his prime. Well, not older, but I want to say it was like 35 when he got like his big break in acting or something like that. I had heard. So, but yeah, that was a fun little surprise for the wife.
Yeah. But
And
now
it also, you kind of juxtapose him next to his whole crew. So first you got the young lady who he says, dear, I told you to wear boots and I told you to wear another jacket. You're in Chicago, you're not in the South anymore, dear. So she must have come from someplace else. She's not dressed appropriately. The other two are like frickin' frack, like just arguing with each other and acting more like the locals than U.S. Marshals. But then you got the locals who are going to, essentially leaning toward taking the guard's word for it. Oh yeah, everybody must be dead. Okay, fine. They just want to close the books, go home, have a beer. And he comes in bringing, what you learn right away about him is he does his job, he does it well, and he does it the right way. And that's it. And there's no other way. There's his way, or there's the highway. And he's going to send everybody else.
We have a fugitive like that, wherever there's a radius, at this speed. So like straight away. And then of course we get back to, I like it because it's quite, again, it's whilst you see Kimble running, Tommy Lee is still talking. Sam. So that's, it's good. But he's getting out. And again, it's you have to take this by a pinch of salt because it's such sort of fast pace, and it kind of would make sense, but it's just easy that he just gets, I get an easy change of clothes. He just, look, overall straight away,
I will say though, not the greatest change of clothes from a prison jumpsuit to just go to a different kind of jumpsuit. You might want to try a little bit harder, but I get it.
Yeah,
you
but
it does beat the bright yellow one.
Yeah, it makes kind of sense though, because he's dirty and he now looks like just a dirty mechanic.
With the beard and everything.
Yeah.
He's got a mechanic look to him, so fair enough.
Yeah, and then he goes. Of course, when we get to they back to the site, they pull out the guard, who's they thinks. But whilst that is Harrison Ford, his injury, he needs to get to a hospital, so he gets he turns up to the hospital. He finds an old patient, I'm guessing. They're like that, like just again, it's luck in a way, but who cares? Because you don't need to think that much at this point about it. That he's gone into the only male room that is somebody near enough his size. Like if he went into somebody that was 5'6", oh bloody hell, like that. So we don't care. He stitches himself up before that, and then of course there's another policeman at the hospital getting printouts of of the suspect of Kimble. Yeah, and he cleans himself up, and kind of disguises himself very loosely as a doctor to the policeman. And yeah, he plays it as it was really cool. He's like that, and even the cop goes like that because his zipper's undone, and it's like that. And yeah, he's so speaks a certain way as a doctor, so he's not unlikable. He's just a passing character.
And he cares. Throughout this entire film. And it is very critical to, finally Tommy Lee Jones coming to the conclusions that he's coming to. But along the way, like you said, he sees the guard that he had initially tried to help coming into this hospital. He tells the attendant the specific injury he has. I was like, well, how do you know he's got a whatever? The guy recognizes him. He sticks the oxygen mask on his face so he doesn't say anything. And, oh, by the way, now there's an ambulance with keys in it. Now I have my, I have my little escape. And all this is happening one after another. There is not a down second in this film. It is just one event after another. I really like the way this film moves.
Has anybody, I'm going to actually be really geeky now because it is my channel's name, but has anybody seen, is it Quarantine? Red Dwarf episode called Quarantine?
No,
there's a Red Dwarf episode where Lister has to take a lucky drug and he just bumps into everything. We need this. What do you mean this? Yes. Oh, we need this. Oh, do you mean this? Oh, like I have to escape.
I want a lucky drug.
Yeah, like literally. Oh, how many digits? 15 digits. Last one. Ding. Oh, it's all that. This is literally this escape plan. He just luckily, movie lucky gets into anything. But do I care? No, because it's such a great pace, and you've got that music.
And it's not outlandish either.
No,
they're not crazy things that are happening. Yeah, there happens to be an ambulance. Well, he's at a hospital.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not a Ryan Johnson and like with his stuff. It's like, oh, what? Where's that come from? I don't understand it. Oh, yeah, everything is set because that is probable because of the environment they're in. So yeah, I don't care. I could, you can pick it, but I'm not, because it makes sense because you're drawn into how is he going to get there? How is he going to do escape? What is actually going to do? So when it starts to roll, and he gets his the ambulance, and then we get back to the other one, and they realize, oh, he's stolen. There's the police guard he was here. Oh, but also there's a ambulance being stolen. Where's all the ambulances? And there's one en route, whatever, doesn't matter. And he's off.
Well, don't we get one of the quotes at this point? I think we do. I think we get when the bumbling guy with the with the mustache is just sitting, and Tommy Lee Jones says, what are you doing? He says, I'm thinking. So it's like, while you're thinking, can you think me up a cup of coffee and a chocolate donut with some of them sprinkles on top? While you're thinking. Like that one.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so we get a little bit of a chase. He goes into a tunnel under a aqueduct, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, this fast, we're heading toward a big scene.
This is not just, I would say this is like a movie iconic moment.
Yeah,
like if you put clips of like iconic movies, I think this scene, even though it's very simple, would have to be there like that. So yeah,
I think so. Because you get the setup, they've quickly found him. So he's had, in movie time, it feels like he's had a big head start, but this movie is running at real time. So he hasn't had that big head start. So they're right behind him. And, they're working their way down the tunnel, and, now they've fallen through where the intake is for the dam. Now, this entire film was filmed in and around Chicago, and that's where his trial would have been, and that's where everything would be happening. This dam is in North Carolina, so it's the only thing that in real life is out of place for where it would be in the film. The film is portraying that everything is still right around the greater Chicago, Cook County area, but this dam is the Keohee Dam in North Carolina. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's actually quite picturesque in a scary way.
In a scary way.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be looking at it from the perspective of Richard Kimble. I would be wanting to look at it from a completely different perspective, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so from this, they kind of lose him, and they don't know. They're like, he's completely disappeared until they realize he's gone into the kind of, I'm guessing, sewage system or whatever, overflow system or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the intake.
Yeah, and it is they go down, they split up, so they're going to teams. Tommy Lee's Sam goes one way, the other two go the other way, and of course he slips, drops his pistol, and then realizes Kimble's got it. And then I'm going to end this now. So I think everybody got it right. Is when they meet, first thing he says, "I didn't kill my wife," and his response is, Sandy,
"I don't care."
Yeah, and it's right. I don't care. Yeah, I'm just here to bring you back. Yeah, so 92% like that, 91%. Sorry, got it right. Today, yeah, it's a great line. He just looks up. I don't care. I don't care. I'm here to bring you in. That's
doing
my
job, doing it the right way. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here.
I'm not here to investigate everything. I'm just here to.
He says, I'm not here to solve puzzles. I'm just here to bring you in. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
But there's something about the way he delivers it that is just perfect. Yeah. It's something about the Tommy Lee Jones delivery. Three simple words, I don't care, but it just comes off like the best way and the most necessary way for that moment.
It's great. And you're just I actually believe you. I actually believe you. You don't actually care.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah.
It's also so unexpected for the audience. The last thing you expect him to say is, I don't care. Whether he says, yes, you did. The judge said what. I don't care.
And that's kind of what I think is interesting about the choice to write it in there, is because like we as the audience know, or are pretty sure at this point at the very least, that Harrison Ford's character is innocent. So like you want him to at least be like, what do you mean? What do you mean you did? Oh, but he's just like, again, you got to understand, this guy's heard it a million times. What criminal has he been up against that hasn't probably said they didn't do it or they're innocent? So he really doesn't care. So I think it's just such an interesting kind of reminder to the audience that like this is essentially two stories going on. They're the same story, but like you've got Tommy Lee Jones' side of it, and then you've got Harrison Ford's side of it. Two very different ones. We're the only ones on this side of the glass that know all of it. they're not. So I feel like his response to that is just so spot on, where the audience is probably expecting or hoping for something a little bit more like, what do you mean, Richard? What do you mean? Let's talk about this. And he's just like, no, like, I don't care. I just need to bring you back in. Like, I don't care your innocence or your proclaimed innocence. My job is that you're an escaped convict. I have to bring you back, plain and simple. And who better for that than Tommy Lee Jones?
They don't investigate. That the U.S. Marshals versus, the FBI, they investigate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Department of Justice prosecutes. The Marshals, they bring in their man. They're the sheriffs of the country. Like, local towns have sheriffs. Our national sheriffs are the Marshals. They bring them in. That's what that's all they do is bring them in.
Absolutely.
Is that like Dog the Bounty Hunter?
No.
Just an incredibly more similar concept in a way, but incredibly more official.
Yeah. I mean, and local governments do use private bounty hunters, but these are
you gotta love that. I always think the Wild West, the bounty hunter.
Yeah,
it's like that. It's great.
I do.
It is
what other country goes? We have bounty hunters. You're like,
good old America. That ass like that.
Bail
right. We have bounty hunters.
It's for when they jump their bail.
What do you want to be when you do? I want to be a fireman. What do you want? I want to be a bounty hunter.
That's pretty cool.
Like, yes.
When you put it like that, I've never actually thought of it. It is honestly funny. What are you gonna do?
Oh my! Talking about bounty hunters. So, have you seen Kevin Bacon's new series about he's a devil?
Do I feel like I've seen him a trailer or something for him recently?
It's brilliant.
Is this?
There's one season. I don't know what it's called. Have a look at it now. Kevin
Bacon.
I
got IMDb. Let me take a look.
He is a demon bounty hunter.
Oh,
okay. I swear I've seen like a commercial or something.
I've watched it.
I remember seeing him and being like, "Ooh, that looks good."
It's actually quite very entertaining. And I've been very entertaining. You're like, they're like 30, 40-minute episodes.
The Bondsman?
That's it, Bondsman. Yes. He
on
actually
Prime.
has to.
On Prime. I scrolled. Okay, now I remember.
Really?
I must have scrolled over.
Watch it. Actually, if you've got you want to watch something that you don't have to care about, or very entertaining, a little bit silly, and it's good. Yeah, and it's got Kevin Bacon.
I'm on board. I like Kevin Bacon. I'm on board.
And it's about demon hunting. It's great. So.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the IMDb. Sign me up. I'm good.
I 100% recommend. It's not like it's a 9 out of 10, but it's like that's good. I want season 2. It was that good.
I'll take that.
Yeah, have a look at that. There we go. So apart from that, we get now. Tommy Lee Jones has got his secondary weapon, and he's gone. I told me he said like, put your hands up, freeze, or whatever.
Turn around, the usual orders, I think.
Again, like what we was, Sandy was like me. So this is just iconic. Why is this just iconic? Of this little standoff of him got nowhere to go, and I think he even says it. I think Sam even says it. You've got nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. Well, I do. If I'm a lucky son of a bitch,
or a crazy one of the two,
and
or possibly both.
And I do like this because, a nosedive. No, he Peter Panned off it.
I could not understand the choice. Why jump off like that? I actually audibly laughed when he jumped because I looked. I did not expect him to jump that way. It was a bizarre choice. And even the still shot of it now just looks even sillier. I don't know why he jumped off.
And Highlander's right, a dummy. It's definitely a dummy. And
when it does,
for sure. But
one editing problem with this film,
you would have thought they at least
93 though.
All right, do it again. Let's try to get it to do a pencil dive or something because this front flip is crazy.
But I understand that's the best thing about this, even though it looks a bit odd now, even probably at the time. But you live with it because that's what cinema was. I get his motives because he's just been sentenced to death.
Yeah, really.
I mean, he's got no options here. If it was over his chance to take that jump, and a literal leap of faith, this is your time to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to prove my innocence, or I'm going to die, and I'm going to die anyway. So go for it. That moment, yeah. Tommy, okay, he's gone.
I love his reaction to it,
Yeah.
especially when the other guy comes up. Hey, do you believe he just jumped right off?
Yeah. And even with this boat, it's like, oh, he's dead. Go and get me a cane and fish him out.
Yeah,
Like find the fish who at him. He's
it's his delivery, like something about the way. And again, he's obviously had a lot of I don't know what he would have had up to this point, but since then, whatever, he's had a lot of roles in law enforcement, so he's had time to practice that cadence, that order giving, delivery, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something about the speed in which he responds to all the, well, we don't know, he doesn't know way he made it. Well, if he didn't, then find the fish who ate him. And I want to, like, that whole, like, the way he just delivers it so quickly, it feels like somebody who's a veteran of law enforcement. He just gets the roll across in terms of from page to screen so well.
I wonder if the sorry, Sandy. I wonder if the lines are from the TV series, or they were made purposely for the movie.
Oh, was this a TV series previously? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
It was a series in the 60s, so it was based on a TV series.
Jay, don't worry. None of us were alive.
All right, fair enough.
None of us were here, and none of us watched it. I did not watch it.
Finally.
Win for us all.
No, but when you kind of look back at his other, I was looking at his other roles before this. So he was, I forgot he was in Under Siege. Totally forgot he was in Under Siege.
Great.
He was in the TV series Lonesome Doves. So he's always got that that Western, well-worn person of authority.
Where's he from? Where's he Texas?
He was in Coal Miner's Daughter with Loretta Lynn. That was one of his, early films. And you're right. The way it comes across is just, he comes across very authentic as a person that's had experience. So I wonder if he worked on a ranch as a kid or something, or worked, whatever his, backstory. Oh, okay. Ready for this? Here's where he worked.
I bet he had service, didn't he? Probably his age.
But he worked in his father worked on oil rigs, and he worked in underwater construction on oil rigs.
Really?
Before getting into acting. Holy moly.
Interesting.
I mean, that takes what.
There you go. So he probably didn't get drafted because he was at Harvard and Yale. Was it? Where was he?
Did he go to those schools too?
It said was it?
He roomed with Al Gore, and he played football. He played football for Harvard. Yeah.
This is blowing my mind. Tommy Lee Jones, I did not know this about him.
Football scholarship to Harvard after working underwater construction on an oil rig. Good Lord. So when I said, he comes off as being an authentic person with some real life experience, like a lot of actors today don't have. That's probably part of it. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being with Al Gore though? Jeez.
I just can't see those.
I know when you think about it. Imagine the Al Gore we know and the Tommy Lee Jones we know in a dorm room. Like it doesn't really equate. It doesn't make sense. I mean, honest to God though, it's no wonder he oozes just like wisdom and sage wisdom. Anytime you see the guy on screen, you live a life as experienced as his, you're going to be quite literally oozing that kind of wisdom. I'm a little bit shocked. I did not know those things about him. That is really interesting.
I think it's Tommy Lee, though. I think Tommy Lee Jones, not Tommy Lee.
Yeah, Tommy Lee.
Two very different people.
That's another life.
That is another worn and tried life.
But I think he's like our generation. If that even I mean, I'm putting you here, Jay, because he was like from Lonesome Dove into these movies and then into like Men in Black. He's had that, and he's our kind of like our youth and your youth. If that makes like all the movies.
Absolutely. I mean, and he's continued into all of our adulthoods. From me going from Men in Black to No Country for Old Men and anything else in between or after. He's been a multi-generational actor at this point in terms of who he's been, his audiences, and he's to me one of Hollywood's best of all time. I love Tommy Lee Jones.
And since we're just praising Tommy Lee Jones, he's been honored by the Texas Cultural Trust as a Texas icon which we have to agree.
Mhm.
And he has his like mini biography posted on their website. And of course, he's done lots of philanthropic stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look for a real biography of him because now I'm just fascinated. He graduated with honors from Harvard with a degree in English. Yeah, I'm off. Yeah,
Wow.
I want to know
Impressive.
more.
Like the thing
Incredibly
is, he's
impressive.
like he does these roles, and I've like that, but he does like unstated role like Lincoln. He plays that the
Thaddeus
senator.
Stevens.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
a great
in
role.
that. He's
He
great
was
in
so
that.
good.
And because it gets overshadowed by Daniel Day-Lewis, is like that.
Right.
He's great in that.
There
But he
were a
gets like,
bunch of great performances
Well,
in Lincoln. We're going to
he's
talk about
great.
that's coming up. That's coming up too.
He's great in like in every type of movie he's into. Because even think about him in Captain America, a superhero Marvel movie. He's fantastic in the first Avenger. He's good in everything. I can't think of something. The only movie I can say of his that I didn't like because it wasn't good was Man of the House. It was a silly comedy he did in the early 2000s when I was a
I
kid.
think Highlander disagrees with you.
Oh, did Highlander just say he
Of
likes
course
Man of
he
the House?
does. He said he
Oh
loved Man of the
no!
House.
Sorry, Highlander.
You knew it was going to happen.
I did not like Man of the House. It's a fun kind of change of pace for him. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
But I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good movie. But in fairness, I only watched it as a kid, so I don't know. Maybe I'd have to watch it again now.
There's always a
Christina
movie.
Milian was in it. That's right.
Okay, this is Film Club. The wheel tells us what to watch, but the wheel doesn't tell us that Highlander will have a movie he likes and we don't like.
I will say, to your points there, Highlander, I don't think he was bad in the role or anything. I just thought the movie was a little too goofy. And I see your other point of so campy that you loved it. And I think for me, it was just too campy. I couldn't get into it as much. But I don't think it was awful in it or anything. I just thought it was like, oh, this feels like a cash grab. Needed or wanted to check rather, and just was like, yeah, you guys pay me for it, I'll do it.
There we go. Yeah. First time ever the word campy has been used in Film Club.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we haven't done many movies with any camp in it at all.
No, not yet.
Okay, last word on Tommy Lee Jones. So he was nominated for an Oscar for Lincoln.
What was he?
As well as for this film. So
so that was something that I thought was really interesting as well. Because when I saw the title of it, I was like, oh, Oscar winner. I'm like, wonder what this won. Screenplay something. Sure enough. I won't spoil it. I guess I kind of just already did, but we'll get to that in Sandy's numbers at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he won the Oscar for this role as he should have. He should have.
Yep.
I don't know who he was up against, but we'll talk about that later. But
we'll have to look at that. Yeah, that'd be quite 94's Oscars. That would have great.
It would have taken place in 94, but been for 93.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And then what? 90. When was 95? Was Jurassic Park, wasn't it? 95,
no, 90. Don't let's hold that conversation. Please.
All right. We're
gonna have this conversation. Same year.
Stay with us, people.
We've had a couple of films in 1993 now.
Have we? Oh, we should.
Demolition Man was in 1993. We've had a few.
Nobody won an Oscar. Damn them. But okay, back to of drooling over Tommy Lee Jones. So Richard Kimble has survived. He's even how we don't care. We've just enjoyed it. We've ignored the body, but we carry on, and the hunt's going on. And I like this because they've like searched the premise, like the area, and it goes straight into nighttime. So literally, like, but they seem quite close to like the railway tracks. And I wanted to bring up that now because that looks like it's a footage from the previous scenes like that, because
it actually does look a little recycled.
Yeah, but who cares? And then of course we get how can he change his looking even more from brown to black hair?
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
I guess.
Yeah. Like it
could shave your head. I mean,
I was gonna say, like, if I'm fully bearded, as a kind of, he's got kind of long hair, I'm bicking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm putting some glasses on.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, but yeah. So he gets picked up by walking into Chicago by what woman would do this?
None.
Yeah, there's I guess I would say one of my flaws with the movie has some of these little things that are like you just said, the hair dye, like you think you do a little more, the evidence in the beginning, this some of the stuff that moves the plot along is like, believable because you needed it in the plot, but do I really believe it? No,
because like I say, like you dyed your hair, but you went, I like
just
my hairstyle.
Shade or two.
I like no, but
that too, right? Like
I get the style the
same style. Yeah,
like one, you just go a shade or two darker with the black, the brown to the black.
You could have gone into 90s curtains.
You could have done anything. You could have shaved it if you needed to. Like you said, I mean, you could have shaved it, whiffle, anything. I mean, yeah, you would think it would be a little bit more.
Like, nope.
Yeah, you're not touching my hair. The most I'll give you is I'll dye it black. And it looks like it was a cheap dye. Might have been
a consideration there.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I would imagine he would agree to doing a beard and that's it. Because even the dye, I don't know, maybe it was just a sequence of filming either, but the dye is really dark for a few scenes. Yeah. And then by the end of the movie, it's like fading and half brown again. So I don't know if it was just cheap dye or maybe it was just sequence of filming and all that kind of thing. But
shampoos in between.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, you can dye it black, but it's got to be the kind that like washes out within a couple showers. I don't want it black until I have to like grow the black out and have it all brown again. I would understand it, but it does hurt the movie a little bit in terms of the fine details of making an escape.
But even like this, like the like when you see the scenes of this, he's near the city. Like, but okay, he's still walking. She picks him up, but he's still near there. Why would you pick him up? It's like he's probably got another hour's walk. So okay, you're being nice, but you're a single woman.
Yeah, being nice at a huge risk. Man, in the middle of the night.
Maybe, like, I've not been on, I'm sure in the early 90s that still was a risk in like that. Like, is it like a hitchhiking in some states illegal?
I don't know if hitchhiking's ever not been risky, to be honest with you. I think it's always been, in any decade or era, it's always been a risky thing.
No, yeah, so, yeah, okay, just to get him quicker to the point, but I don't get it because you could.
I just don't think
need it
movie-wise you needed it, right? Like,
but there is a reason they needed it.
Oh, yes, because what they set up next, which I'll argue, I don't think they even needed this whole character and this whole thing.
It's to build suspense because you don't. The first time you watch it, you're going to see the suspense that you think it's Richard.
So to be honest, this was my first time seeing this scene, and I kind of saw through it right from the beginning.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
I saw right through it. So like even trying to build that suspense, it just felt too predictable. I was like, there's no way they just picked up. I'm like, and then immediately it clicked. I'm like, oh, it's the other guy. The other guy, because
they still have the other guy.
From when he left to this point, I even turned to my wife. I'm like, how come they're only assuming those chains belong to Harrison Ford's character? Like, don't they know that a couple inmates had, or they either escaped or not able to identify which inmates were even there, given the wreckage of that accident?
That's good.
I was like, the whole thing just felt like he was missing.
I can't remember. Did they actually say the other two were dead?
No, not that I can remember, but I remember when he holds up the chains that were left behind, the other officer just waves around Kimble's picture, just Kimble. So like, they weren't concerned about this guy or anybody else who might have escaped. And that was the whole thing. I was like,
but then they say there's 4. They say we're missing. Oh, so we went from missing, they're all dead, to we're missing 4. You know,
because we know. So
and we don't even know the other two at this point.
The driver's he had a shotgun to the head. We know that. The young
ones in the hospital, the
young guards in the hospital. The other one lied, and we seen him, but he's got blood in his face.
Right.
The one who foamed, and the other guy on the opposite side.
Yep, those two, I believe, didn't make it out of the crash.
I'm guessing they didn't make it, but we don't get
then
told.
We had Harrison, and then this guy that we're going to see. And then if they're saying there were 4, that means there's 2 more that I don't even remember seeing on camera. So the whole thing, I was just so confused. Like right before we got to this scene, I actually turned to my wife. I'm like, "What happened to that other prisoner? Why do they assume that those chains belong just to Kimble?" And then, sure enough, this scene, once they got to, I think it was once Tommy said he picked her up after work. I was like, "Oh, I know what it's going to be," and it went right to this. And I was like, and then this whole thing plays out, and I'm just like, I don't think we needed any of this in here. I really don't. But,
yeah, because you actually think about it, like if you go back, okay, they might have been petty criminals, but they put on the things. But the other guy was in yellow as well, so he was on death row. So he would have been in the paper. You know, there would have been news about him as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Though. It just one of the odd storytelling choices I thought.
Yeah, but so they
And I don't care.
injected
For me, I don't care. It doesn't.
You don't. This is picking. This is
and that's the thing. I don't think this plays out as a bad scene in terms of U.S. Marshals going to get somebody who's just like. I think it plays out as a great, law scene, upholding the law type of scene where you've got cops and a bad guy and they're making I think that whole thing. I think the scene plays out well. It just felt so random because when we got to him, like, why do we care about this character or them hunting him down? Because they've never made, and it didn't seem like before that they were making us want to care about it. So I kind of just wanted something to engage me in it more than just the quality of the scene itself.
Maybe it was trying to show that Sam also was a bit of a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he off his rocker? Because that shot was a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that was like, oh goodness, he obviously scared the life out of the younger Marshal there. But he's really good at what he does. But oh my God, did he have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. I think it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a good scene. I just wish they gave it away to be more necessary or to be more fitting or feel like it wasn't just a bit of a side quest in the main story, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah. From that, we get now. Richard is back in Chicago, and he first calls his lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me where I'm. What is this? Salt Lake City, I think he says.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah.
They're already tapping all the phones of all the people. Now, can you tap a lawyer's phone? I don't think so. Now,
I wouldn't think so.
It's been a long time since I graduated from law school, but there probably are some very unique cases, like an Osama case, but it's attorney-client privilege. You can't.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but I'm just
I'm
not familiar enough with the law to know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got that. But Richard, again, and this is where in the film you have to remind yourself, he's not trying to escape. He's trying to find who killed his wife.
Yeah, and
he's not just trying to find who killed his wife to exonerate himself. He wants to know who killed his wife. He loved his wife, and he needs so he's going to be in and around Chicago. And okay, for me, as we start to go through the next few parts of this film, where in your minds do you think Sam starts to, and I'll do air quotes here, care? Not that he cares about Richard, but Richard is actively trying to find who killed his wife. Sam is passively taking in information that's going to lead him to the same conclusion. Mm-hmm. I think when they go through this whole analysis of the phone call and figure out he's right here in Chicago, I think that's the first piece of information that may give Sam a little bit of pause and thinking, gee whiz, he's not just trying to escape. Why is he still here? He hasn't gotten there yet, but I think this is where it finally, we start to go on two paths where Kimble is actively seeking all these clues to find who killed his wife, and other information is passively coming to Sam that's going to help him come to that same conclusion.
Well, I think also he gets pissed off by the detectives. It's like, whatever he is, he's a marshal now, but he's also a cop, and they're cops, and they blatantly did not do their job, and he gets a bit pissed off with it when they have the conversation of like, did you interview everyone? Yeah, they're in the folder, and everything. Right. Yeah, it's just like, and he's just like, yeah, you didn't really do your job, Nope. It's the easy collar.
And someone's going to go and be executed.
Quick little side note before we get off of that picture there. This is entirely random, and maybe it's just me, but is it just me? And does he kind of look like Dennis Quaid in this picture? I keep seeing Dennis Quaid here. I can't see Harrison Ford. I'm just seeing Dennis Quaid. Sorry, that was just a little side note. For some reason, that still shot to me as Dennis Quaid.
Now, Jay, do you know what this thing is that he's talking into?
I do. I am familiar with payphones. They did still have them in my day. Dial down the center. We still had that.
I still remember that
The rotary, yeah, we had rotaries kicking around when I was a kid, late 90s. There was still a few, usually at the grandparents' house, I will say, but there were a few kicking around still.
That's a lot. I do like the shorts of people kids getting their mobile taken away. If you want to make a phone call, you have to make it on that, and they're like, what?
They have no idea what to do with it. It is always funny.
Yeah. That's it. But yeah, so we get Sam. He gets a bit of getting a telling off from his boss, and he's like, "If you want to, have a go at anybody, have a go at me because I shot him." And he just puts down the phone.
That's a good leader. That's a good leader who says it's on me, and I really like that. I appreciate that.
Now, we're now listening to the recording between what Sandy said of the lawyer and Kimble, and then they kind of work out by some bells and the train station, isn't it? They the
PA. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so initially when the dude goes, "That's the sound of an L. I know the sound of an L." No, you don't know.
Yeah, you do not know the sound of an L from any other kind of.
When we get to the rest of it, okay, it makes sense when we hear the name of the street.
It may be the proper train geek. You never know. One of my mates is a proper train geek.
If so, that is way too convenient writing that he would happen to be a train aficionado.
Oh my god, it probably is. My mate, he works on the trains. And
I don't doubt some people could.
Probably could go.
I would buy that. Oh, absolutely. If you're into it enough, for sure.
A cop.
Yeah, how convenient that this cop just happens to know. No, that's not a regular train. That's the L. Okay, well, I guess I'll take your word for it.
Well, what does he say? Oh, which cities have them?
Yeah, Philadelphia, New York, we do.
New York.
Not going through that.
And did he say San Francisco? San Francisco does not have an elevated.
I can't remember this. I can't remember.
I don't think it's anyway. I'll have to go back and watch it. But I was like, I know there was
New York, Philly has one, right?
Philly's got Chicago. Part of it, but that's the SEPTA.
I can't think
UK have 0.
Yeah, fair enough. There's not a lot of them, I don't think.
Jay, is yours?
No, Boston doesn't have any, no.
No, yours is the T, right?
Yep, we have the T. We're all underground.
Everyone fun with undergrounds in the United States. So in Boston, it's the T. In Philly, it's the
T. Why is it called the T?
Why is it called the T?
Oh, it's MBTA. It stands for, and they call it the T as like short. It's the Massachusetts. Oh God, I forget what the hell it stands for. Transport Authority. Something. I forget what the B is. I think it's Massachusetts something Transport Authority or some nonsense. So in the logo, it's MBTA, and the T's circled off. It's a black letter on a white background. And that's just always been what we've called it, is the T. At least that's my understanding of it. I've never honestly looked into it. Just learned the name and called it that.
Philly's got the SEPTA.
And then
Atlanta's got the MARTA.
Ain't got nothing. Just
ain't got nothing in Texas. No.
I wonder if the name T. I wonder if the nickname T also caught on, obviously because of Tea Party, and there was just like a clever thing they thought they were doing. T stuck around. That could be totally made up, but I can't understand why they picked. Well, I guess
sometimes history's made up.
Oh, Massachusetts
for transport.
Bay.
Bay. That's right. I couldn't think of what the hell the B stood for.
You were colonists like we were at one time.
Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority. Hey, I got 3 out of the 4. I just couldn't remember Bay.
Say that 5 times really fast.
I always forget that we're a Bay state. It's just so used to kind of being on the coast.
Yeah, the other ones kind of fits. The Philly is SEPTA, Southeast Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, and MARTA is Metro Atlanta Rail Transit Authority. Yeah, it's all up and down the East Coast of the United States. They all have a different name. Baltimore's only goes in one direction.
Ours sucks.
The metro is Paris, and the underground is London.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the one.
And in Chicago, it's called the L because it's elevated. It is mostly elevated, so it's the L. So yes, but they know the sound of it.
Yeah, and they somehow know,
and they pinpoint his precise locations. It's only a couple blocks away from us.
I could not hear any PA announcements on that recording. They were like, "I hear it. Next stop, such and such." I'm like, I can't hear a damn thing. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think so. But hey.
But from that, we get now back to forgot his name again.
Dr. Nichols.
At his private tennis club.
Does he have an accent? Was he trying to do an accent?
Yeah,
This
he's
movie? I
German.
couldn't
He's a
tell. Okay,
German
is that what it
actor.
was supposed to be?
Yeah.
I did not hear German. I don't know what I was hearing.
The actor's
It's a
name
weird. Yeah.
is, I won't say he's weird.
No, his accent is weird.
Oh, the
like,
accent is weird. Okay, I thought
yeah.
you said he was weird. The accent.
How
I've
do you
never
know?
seen
Have
him in
you ever met
anything.
him? He might be.
The
I've never
actor's
seen him in
name
anything that I think
is
of.
Urian Krabbe. Oh, okay. So he's what is Amsterdam? Is that Danish?
Netherlands.
No, Netherlands, Dutch, right?
Yeah.
What do you call people from the Netherlands? I'm so sorry. It's Dutch. Right.
Dutch, yeah.
So, okay, so he was born in Amsterdam in 1940. Oh, good Lord, in 1944 in Amsterdam. Holy moly.
Wow. Okay.
There's he made it. He made it out. So yeah, and he's still with us.
Yeah, I don't know him.
What,
I don't know him for much, but the accent sounded almost like.
Did you say he was German though?
I thought he was German. But he's Dutch.
I was going to say, was he one of the
no
that group?
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah.
No, he was born in 1944. Yeah. He was born in 1944.
I was like, wow, you're going to be no, but there
these are important clarifications.
His dad and his Dutch mother, and then you got into a really historical debate there. Yeah.
No, it says his grandfather was a famous impressionist painter.
Oh,
his father was also a talented artist, and his mother was an interpreter.
Highlander is right there. Highlander is kind of right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, Highlander for the win. Yep. In 1944, he was German for a minute. Yep. But yeah, he was. His mother was a translator of Dutch films into English, so grew up in a very
this is a very artistic family.
Artistic family. He was trained as a painter, but then changed to acting. He was the youngest pupil ever accepted at the local Academy of Performing Arts. Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I thought he was good in the role. I didn't think he was bad or anything. It was just his accent lost me at times because it sounded almost like he was caught between using it and trying to lose it for the role. Sometimes it felt like it was gone, and then it would kind of come back at the end of a sentence. Or I'd be like, "Is he doing an accent, or is he?" As I got a little more used to his character, I kind of settled in on what it was. That it was an accent. It was just kind of maybe coming and going a little bit, but it was a little disorienting at first. I couldn't tell what he was trying to do with it.
Yeah. But you actually think about his lines in the actual movie. He's probably the
very short.
But yeah,
but he's a little smarmy to a degree with Tommy Lee. Like he's a little bit of a smart ass kind of with them. So I thought maybe it was like kind of talking a bit like this, like I've got the upper hand, and you don't know. Like I thought he was maybe doing some of that.
Because I think I think they probably did the point is like most doctors think they're clever in you.
True. So yeah, fair enough. Doctors are weird. God bless you guys for what you do, but you're weird people sometimes. I know a few, in fairness, and they would tell you too.
No. But yeah, so he drives off at the old do you want your change for me cleaning your window? No. Then Kimble points out, get some dollars like that, and more than he says later. This is like, I'm guessing he had like hundreds of dollars on him because he affords to get an apartment later, so I'm guessing so. And then we go back to the scene that I kind of said, where they're just idiots, aren't they? Just like, we don't like, we got our collar. Who cares? Like that? Yeah, you do. Like, yeah, here's the information that you want. And I think at this point it's like, but did you like? And they're asking questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? And they just don't care. They just like, look, it's booked. Like, yeah, whatever you want to do next is your job. You just bring him back in. Yeah, it's the things. But now we get this is like Kimble gets a little apartment from I think they're Russian, aren't they? Supposed to be
Polish.
I think they're Russian.
Says the Polish landlady.
Polish?
Is it Polish or Russian?
It says in the credits the Polish landlady.
Oh, is that okay? So yeah, he takes the things, and then of course the Chicago Police Department are back on the kind of case for them helping with the manhunt because they know he's in the city. And they're like, yeah, everybody knows this one. This is one that we need to get. So they affirm this is what like they kind of like this is the scumbag that we brought in before. Yeah, he's now on the run. Let's bring him out again. And then Cook County Hospital, isn't it? So yeah,
that's a real hospital. Yep, that's the big one in that's the big one in Chicago, Cook County Hospital.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, so he's now got into like full investigation mode, kind of figuring out that he now is what we haven't really seen. Like he remembers there's a one-armed man. That's all we can remember. That is it. And we get some things. So now he goes to what's the department called?
Prosthetics.
Is it just prosthetics? No, there was another name for it, wasn't there?
Was it orthopedics and prosthetics? Something.
I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah, he goes there and yeah, he needs to get in, and so he's hunts down what the janitor or the cleaner.
Another jumpsuit.
Yeah. To get their ID, and it's a very quick little scene. It's him just like following to get the ID, so he can what he's going to do with it, and that's it. And then of course we get back now who he'd been kind of interviewed in a very manner what Jay kind of said in he's been very I gave him money. I gave him, like I met him the other day, and they're like, what you didn't bother telling us.
Right. And my first thoughts with this guy and these, I'm like, where is obstruction of justice? Shouldn't he be brought in on obstruction of justice at this point? He's clearly telling him he's meeting him and not giving them information and almost taunting them with he's smarter than you. Like, dude, you're getting booked on obstruction within milliseconds, if you ask me.
Well, he does that. He's smarter than me, and I've outwitted you. That's the thing. That's what he's saying, isn't it?
I couldn't understand how he didn't end up in cuffs just from this alone, because you're blatantly telling the cops you've seen this guy and you're not going to help them with capturing him. That's I'm like I said, not in law enforcement, never studied law, never went to law school, never studied law, but I've watched enough TV shows to think I know obstruction when I see it, and that seems like obstruction of justice
for sure. But and I think this is. Go ahead, James.
I wonder if in mindset, if you know what you're watching, is his lawyer is going to be worth more than your department, and they'll just kick it straight out.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely fair enough.
Because they're all minted, right?
You could assume somebody of his power is going to have insane litigation. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, the glove didn't fit.
I would need some. I would just need some kind of like reference of that or something from this guy. Like, oh, you're happy to ask my lawyers where he is, or something like that, to let me know that that's the kind of level of why they might not be pushing him as far as they maybe want to. Because other than that, I'm looking at it like this has to be obstruction of justice. He's basically flaunting in their face that, yep, I'm seeing him. Yep, I'm in contact with him. Gave him money, helped him out, aiding, abetting something here. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
like I said, not a law school major, or a graduate, but I've watched a lot of Law and Order. I think I picked something up.
The basics right. I think we get the basics right. This is another.
Ice-T knows his stuff. Come on, now.
He does. This is another example where Tommy Lee Jones is thinking. And he says, this guy's hiding something. This guy lied to me.
Yeah.
He's again, more information is coming in, and he's thinking, okay. This might point to a lot more complication than just, hey, this guy killed his wife, and he's doing his, he's doing the good job that the local cops didn't do, and not necessarily trying to retry the case in his head, but he's gathering information, and he's on his parallel path now. That's going to lead him to find, I know you didn't kill you. I didn't kill my wife. I know. And now it's like, it's not, I don't care. It's like, I know. I was going to say the other, this is where, does he tell him at this point that the other doctor was killed in a car crash? At some point soon, we're going to hear that the other doctor's died in a car crash. And that's where the time situation just played havoc with my head just for a minute, but then I had to reset and remember, okay, we've gone through an entire trial. So it, it wasn't just this past summer that these events happen, it was probably a year and a half ago that Kimble was on trial. And, the chase has only been happening for a day or two, a little short time. But in between the murder and his conviction was a long time, was over a year.
Yeah. But from that, we get kind of a just Kimble doing his kind of work, isn't he? He's kind of getting his ID. We kind of things. Now, I brought this up because we get like another thing. Was that a point to show that Harrison's hotel park free? Did anyone notice that?
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't even notice that.
No, I did not. But let me tell you this: on the train, when they show the random train going over the L after they have that conversation about the phone call, if you look really carefully, it says Kimble Street. So like there are these little strange things. I didn't notice this Harrison Hotel. No, I didn't. Probably a real place.
So now we get like he's they kind of lost now, don't they? They actually don't know he's in. They know he's in Chicago, but they don't have really any leads. We kind of get them now back and forth in like retracing the steps that led to his capture, well, his arrest or a murder, whatever you want to call it. And now they're kind of retracing his steps through the police records, and then they're kind of uncovering evidence doesn't match kind of moments. Whilst we're getting, of course, Kimble's having dreams about his wife and all that, and then we get the police are charging down on him. Lucky for him, they're not for him. Therefore, he's the drug dealing
Polish landlady's son.
But yeah, Polish son.
That's a mouthful. The drug dealing Polish God, I can't even get it out. Polish landlady's son. Yeah, that is a mouthful.
So yeah, he gets carted off. Whilst then, Kimble is now acting as a janitor at the. He's at the hospital. He's gone into the room to clean the blinds, where he wants access to the computer. Great 90s computer there. That's what database used to look like. Yeah, and of course he knows access, so he's getting like all for the like who's lost their arms, who got a replacement. Lucky enough it was in that hospital in that state, because I'm guessing they weren't connected.
That's where I'm thinking, like, okay, you're just so happening, yes, you're finding all the people who had that missing arm, but it didn't have to be at this hospital. Like, how are you getting? Yeah, this is another one where I have to say it's okay. I just ignore, just let it happen. It's fine.
Just it's when you dive into it, you go,
don't look too, don't look behind the curtain. It's fine.
Yeah. So now we get back to the police. I love this because I brought this up because we get a reference later of the trench coats. It's a very Columbo thing.
It is very Columbo.
Yeah, and
Sherlock Holmes too, in a way.
Yeah, like says it later. Or is this the Trench Coat Society or something like, or whatever, like group or something, doesn't he? Things like. But now go on, Sandy, you can say it once more time because Jay can't say it, and neither can I.
The Polish landlady's drug dealing son.
Kudos. That was impressive.
So yes, he identifies. Yeah, he's been living in the basement. So yeah, we go back. So now they definitely know it's him. And this bit is where is it? Sorry, now we're okay. Yeah, we're at this bit, aren't we? So
there's been a school bus accident.
Yeah, school bus accident. He's now investigating the apartment, And yeah, school bus accident. He's down trying to avoid any suspicion. Now there's this one kid who they kind of look over, don't they, really, really quickly, because he's not bleeding out, I suppose, like that is the best way to put it. And this is where we get Julia Moore, who I completely forgot was in this movie. She has a very small part.
Blink and you'll miss her.
Yeah, it's literally, so she's attending doctor of this accident. She asks him, can you give some help and take him down to the recovery room or something like that, where nobody's looked at the x-ray. And of course he's looking at the x-ray. He goes down, whilst again we get more flashbacks of Sam looking at some IDs. He's been like eating oranges and making IDs. They realize where he's going. He's been at the county court, and Kimble then he doesn't fake the orders. This is the orders. He does it as an actual doctor. He realizes what he needs.
Said he takes the kids straight to surgery too.
Yeah. Yeah. So he takes it, signs the order, and this is, they told me to bring him down here, and they rush him straight in. What would have, more than likely, what they don't say later, but it would.
They do. Yeah. She says to the police officer, he saved his life.
That's it.
She said he saved his life.
Okay.
To Tommy, because I think Tommy questions her as something like, I can't remember what it was, but something like, oh, and you didn't hold him here or something. And she was like, I called security. I did what I could. And then she leaves by saying, he saved the kid's life.
Yeah. So she's arguing. What you just said. She confronts him. He moves off. Then they have that. He runs off, doesn't he? Call security. And this is the scene where kind of
For me, I thought this was where you started to see a little bit more of Tommy piecing together, like, okay, this, like, to Sandy's question earlier of where do you feel like Tommy starts understanding there's something more to the Kimble's character, that maybe there is something up with his, like maybe he is actually innocent, maybe there is a case to kind of figure out here. This to me was where it was. I think this is where he sees, all right, this guy's clearly not in any rush to not be here. Like, he's clearly doing something, and he's taking his time to help multiple people now, because he's now seen it with the younger police transport guard that was in the bus at the beginning as well, that somebody he essentially tried to save twice, actually, both in the bus. Actually, well, I guess he doesn't hear about that story because the other guy lies, but regardless, he at least knows that outside of the hospital, the guy saw him as he was giving advice to get him in there for surgery. And then now again, so I think at this point is where he's like, all right, there's something up with this guy, because if this is a normal criminal, he's not only not coming back to just linger around the city for as long as this guy has, this guy's now going out of his way to take the time to help people in hospital. Like, the whole thing has to be just getting the hair in the back of his neck to stand up. Like, something's off here. This is not the normal case of Fugitive. So this, for me, Sandy, to answer your question, is where I felt like he started to piece together that there's more to Kimble than the open and shut case, so to speak, or as the crappy cops called it, an open and shut case.
And so now he's calling all? He's got the report, and he's calling all the everybody on the things, and like, we got a graduation. Oh, he's in prison. Okay. Everybody in the area, and we now get the green. We're now on St. Paddy's Day, Patrick's Day in Chicago, and did they do this? Did they do this in Boston as well? Or was this just Chicago?
No, this is a Chicago thing.
They dye the what river is it? Gone. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't even know.
The
Sandy,
Chicago
you may know
River, I think.
Is that it?
That'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Chicago. Here's what's cool about Chicago is like, is the mecca of architecture for the United States, right? It's where the American Institute of Architects is. It's where everyone goes to study architecture, and the city itself I mean, it's just wonderful. You can walk down the street and you'll see one style across from another style, but it all fits. And the best way to see it is on this river. You take a river cruise and you can just cruise past all these amazing buildings. And the river itself is just always so disgusting. And the green is even worse than when it's brown. I don't just it's it I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. But hey, you know, I applaud local tradition for sure.
But why
this is
can't they dye it
here.
blue all
Yeah.
the rest of the year round? That's their
Yeah.
argument. It's like you can dye it green.
It does have good pizza, Highlander. Chicago style pizza. I love Chicago style pizza. I do.
We just get crap British pizza and it's terrible.
They have good hot dogs too. They make the best dogs.
I have actually heard. I haven't had a Chicago style hot dog, but I have heard they got some good ones.
They put everything on it. I mean, you put a whole salad on the dog, and it actually works for some strange reason. It really
salad?
does.
What's in the salad?
Lettuce, tomato, a whole pickle.
It's like
a whole pickle.
You'd have to see a picture of it to believe it.
Half an onion.
It's insane.
Yeah.
No.
You have to look up
So
Chicago.
I'm very simple. It's like spicy mustard and ketchup.
That's fair.
As it should. Spicy
and
mustard.
I prefer most hot dogs just very simple like that. But I'll go. You know, I like a good chili dog or something a little while here.
The only time I actually don't mind American mustard. The only time.
I actually don't like regular yellow Heinz. I actually don't like that mustard. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little too sweet, but that's the only time I like it on hot dogs.
Fair enough. I'm not a huge fan of it.
God,
I like it as a. I like
it's
that
got to be
mustard.
that mustard that burns your nostrils, and you're like,
yeah,
what's going on? That's what you want. That's a mustard.
Yeah, I agree.
When you visit here, and when Jay and I take you to a ball game, we shall do a dog off. We shall see.
We will do that. And I will. Sandy, you've been to the UK. You've had Coleman's mustard, haven't you?
Yeah. That's wild. That's hot.
Good.
It's just heat.
It's not. It's mustard. It's yes.
If it's got some extra spice to it, I'd probably like that. To be honest with you,
it's English mustard. Coleman's
mustard. I like
mustard,
German, like the Golden's mustard. I do.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of yellow Heinz. I find the taste. I don't mind it if you use it as like a base to create another kind of sauce, but I'm not that big a fan of just straight up yellow Heinz.
I like how this has become a mustard.
And while I'm at it, while I'm talking about hot dogs and a hot dog kind of show off contest here, I'll tell you, most overrated hot dog you'll ever have, Fenway Frank. Don't believe the hype.
Oh, really?
Fenway Franks are so overrated. It's not even funny. They're overpriced and overrated. It's a boiled hot dog. Some
people say that about the team as well.
Ooh, hey, they're a wild card team, all right? They're a wild card team. You might
I'm not going there.
They're actually playing the Yankees right now as we speak. We're already down 2-0, so that's fine for me.
I'm not going there.
This is quite funny because
if we go back
just before the beginning of the season, Jay said the Oilers. Is it the
Orioles?
Orioles. The Orioles would do well, and you wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
And Sandy, where did you finish?
We're our typical. We're just.
I thought you guys were going to have an interesting young competitive team this year, but I guess And I thought we were going to be. I mean, to be honest, the way we're playing,
we're better than the Oilers at baseball, though.
All right, Highlander, take it easy. What do you like, the Rangers or something, Highlander? Texas, right? Were you a Rangers fan? Astros? Tell me you're not an Astros fan.
Please tell me.
You're not an Astros fan, Highlander.
Why are they bad?
Oh, they're just the worst. They're cheaters, and I know I can't say that because I'm a Patriots fan, but I'll say it anyways. I don't like the Astros.
Rangers and Astros. Are you allowed to do that? It's like being a Mets and a Yankee fan. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't have two. Grew up
now, since we're on this topic, Jay, what is the good food at Fenway? Like what?
Honestly, and I'm not even. I mean, you can. It's not that it's bad or inedible. Like it's all just your regular concourse kind of food. Your nachos, your hot dogs, your Italian sausages, the whole deal. Sausage, pepper, onions. All of it's like fine, and it's edible. It's just insanely overpriced. The Fenway Franks do not live up to the hype. They're just another boiled hot dog or steamed hot dog, probably. I'll tell you the truth, Sandy, as gross as it may sound, and I know people don't always love this, if you go out to the street and you get some street meat off one of the vendors out there, you're going to get 1,000 times better hot dog or Italian sausage. That's usually what we do. Unless we're like starving in the game and we really need to eat something, we'll get something there. but typically
You
we'll
have a really
just
nice
have.
area like around Fenway with a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
nice
yeah.
little
There's a lot
places.
of.
I went to a
Mhm.
couple of bars and restaurants around there, so those are good.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
there's
come
places all
to
over that area.
Camden Yards where the Orioles play, it's pit beef. Like it's Boog Powell, who used to be an Orioles player a long time ago. It's Boog's beef, and it's so good. And we have crab. You can get good old Maryland crab cakes
Mm.
at our stadium. We have good food at
See,
Camden Yards.
yeah, it's nice when a stadium has not only good food but something authentic to the
Local
area.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I haven't been to Fenway in a couple seasons, honestly, because I think I've told you guys before, I get aggravated with the ownership of the Red Sox because they tend to want to spend their money over in Liverpool and not in Boston, and it drives me nuts. And then they still charge the highest ticket price in baseball to go to a game and the highest concourse prices for food. It's
Money's
just
in soccer.
Oh, they're just well, that's what it is. All their
Yeah.
money's going over to Liverpool and like whatever. Liverpool fans used to complain, 10 years ago when the Sox were winning, it felt like Liverpool wasn't going anywhere. They would say the same thing. Feels like you're putting all your money in the Red Sox. So it seems to be something they just kind of flip back and forth between doing. And right now it's Liverpool's run. But I'll admit they've put a decent competitive team out there this year, and they've bought a couple expensive players. So between Bregman and our pitcher Crochet, they've spent some money this year, and they've put forth a better effort at giving us a team. But still, the prices are just crazy.
I'll take you lot to a proper game, proper football game. You come over.
I've never been to one in the UK.
What?
I've been to Liverpool versus Tottenham here in Baltimore when they did the
that's
friendlies tour around the United States, and it was 0-0. The final was 0-0. And then one year it was Barcelona and FC Milan. So I've seen those 4 teams.
I once saw the Brazilian national team take on the Mexico national team at Gillette, and it was probably around like 2007. So like Ronaldinho, Kaká, Ronaldo, they were all still on the Brazil team. So that was a really fun game to watch.
Oh, that's cool.
But outside of that, yeah, it is on my bucket list to go over to Europe and see a proper football.
Well, you're getting
a proper match out there.
Is it Miami? They're getting their first La Liga game, aren't they?
Oh, are they? Oh, I didn't realize that.
Villarreal. This is like everybody's kicking off in Europe, going the effing hell, nope, like that, things like that. But yeah, it's good. Like
it's a bucket list thing to see a proper football match over in Europe.
No, I always say it's always better at smaller stadiums. Like it's like some of the best games I've had away in smaller stadiums. Like my team's not the biggest, Queen's Park Rangers. They've got 18,000 seater stadium. Like that.
They're passionate.
And it's literally like it's one of the loudest stadiums because it's all iron cast. It's like really old stadium. So yeah, we won against Wrexham today, so that was good.
Ryan Reynolds team there, huh?
Yeah, we did like that. Yes,
there you go.
Wrexham, so that was good. So, but the smaller stadiums are good. Like some of the bigger stadiums now have lost their atmosphere because they're just like they've gone commercial.
Yeah, look at City.
It's just gone commercial. It's just
plastic fans and all that.
Yeah, well, Man City, like say, I don't care what Man City fans, they're plastic team.
Yeah, that's what you always hear. That's what you always hear.
They've got no fans. It's like they've got the hardcore fans that used to be, and then
a bunch of
like
bandwagon people, what we call pink hats here.
And that's what they've done in Liverpool, just outpriced all the fans so they can't go and watch the match. So like that. So
welcome to the Fenway ownership group. Isn't it great?
But that's the problem with they outsource. Well, they outsell all the clubs and all that to like non fans. They just it's like portfolio tickets.
And that's such a Fenway. I thought you just said Liverpool, and that's such a Fenway thing, ownership group thing to do. Because that's something we've seen over here recently with the decline in Red Sox play over the past few years.
Banned.
Again, the Red Sox,
the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, I do personally. I like soccer, football, whatever you call it, but I do understand how people don't like it. What are you going to do? But in terms of the Liverpool, the fans that you were just talking about here in Boston, we've had the issue of. Again, this year it's been better because the team's been better, but the past few years as the team's been missing the playoffs and all that, we've noticed an increase in other teams' fans taking over the stadium because our fans are getting priced out because we don't want to go bother paying for it. And then it's getting
Mr.
filled.
Nerdfakes, your fans were always notorious for going to other parks.
Right. The Red Sox Nation traveled. They traveled pretty well.
They would invade Camden Yards. The worst game / best game for us to ever go to would be one of the Boston Red Sox games, because we were for sure there was going to be fighting in the stands because a whole bunch of Red Sox hooligans were going to be in the stands more than any other team.
Yeah,
more
for
than,
a long time we traveled really well around here.
Yeah, I
all
mean,
of
New
our
York
teams
is
did.
closer, but
we one year, I think it was like 2018, Tom Brady's last year here at the Patriots, or one of his last years. I think that was his last year. I went down to Nashville to see them because they had a home game down there. We were like, let's go down to Nashville, me and all my buddies. And every time we got into an Uber or something, the guys are just like, you Massachusetts people really travel, huh? He's like, I've never seen another city come into this city like you guys have. I'm like, yeah, we're a big sports town, so we love it. We do travel. Plus, when it's fun places to go, why not? But I guess, fair enough. We've done it to other stadiums, so the only time that happens to us. But it's just frustrating to see, and I can understand frustration you guys might have had as fans to see Dodgers fans filling up Fenway Park, or Yankees fans filling up Fenway Park, to see them come in and kick our ass, and they're willing to pay the high price of the ticket to do it. The price that we Red Sox fans refuse to pay. It's been a frustrating couple of years with that group, and it just Fenway's been more of a tourist event than filled with diehard Red Sox fans for the past maybe decade.
No, it is a beautiful park.
It is.
I mean, it's history. It's absolute history. The only one I still have on my list of like my historic parks is Wrigley. I've never been to Wrigley.
Yeah.
And technically I've never been to Yankee Stadium, been outside of it, and I've done the tour, but I've never been to a game at Yankee Stadium. So I have those two to finish. But I love Fenway. Absolutely love Fenway.
I do as well. And speaking of Wrigley, back to the Chicago themed movie.
James, how you doing there? Sorry, it's Baseball Corner with Jay and Sandy.
Well,
That's our next show.
It just kind of happened organically.
As you were talking about movies, and it's baseball, I have to do this then. Watch that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. It's on the list. I've got the book.
It is
love the book, love the film. It's on the list. I also teach it in my business ethics class that I teach. It's part of
cheat.
How not to cheat. Thank you very much. It's in my business ethics class, along with the Bernie Madoff story and the smartest guys in the room and all that stuff. So yeah.
Now I like how a river dyed green went into 20 minutes about that.
You make fun of my Red Sox, you never know where the conversation is going to go.
This is why film club is amazing.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you're going to say about that next picture then.
I don't know.
I'm not Irish,
way to get back
so I'm not offended.
That's it. It does the Celtics, isn't it? We can go on to that.
Yeah. Oh no, don't get me started on my Celtics. We got a rough year coming up.
but this is like again, it's what I said earlier.
It's a big deal. St. Patrick's Day. It's a big deal. This
luckiness of he goes to visit a prisoner at the I don't get where, like, he must be in like a
lockup,
a district or whatever, jowl. It's not really a prison, is it? It's a jowl, isn't it? Really, it's like, or they've been moved from you've had your court case, and then you've been held, you haven't got bond or whatever.
Yeah, you're being held. Boy, that poor guy though wanted somebody to talk to. I felt bad for him. He said, sorry, I got the wrong guy. He's like, I don't have any place else to go. Why don't you stay?
Man, you go like, that's it, because he goes in, like, I love that, because all the police around him don't realize who it is. They're doing their job. They showed that there on that. But yeah, this guy, like, dude, you got me out of here. Like that. I've got nobody else to talk to. Like, for me, I would have chatted to him.
I would have said, hey, how's your arm doing? Yeah, I'm a doctor.
I would have just chatted some crap. Just literally, like, some people just like, you know what, I'm bored. And he was like, yeah, you got me out here. Talk to me. Like, no, sorry, wrong person. But yeah, as he's walking out, Kimble, lucky enough, again, luck but who cares? Because it makes a great cinema.
This is another iconic scene. This
Yeah.
parade, this is also shown in different, different movie compilations, and him blending in to this parade that just happens to be going by, these buildings while shots are fired, but the building goes in lockdown. He gets out. The cops can't get out. Gives him just enough time to blend into a great big huge crowd.
It's great. Like, he goes to the police, just walks by. There's a madman in a whatever coat, brown, like waving a gun. The police just rush to get that. But yeah, and then he goes for the exit. And I like this bit because this is the bit where Tommy Lee's character, he goes to kill him. If that wasn't bulletproof, bring
him in dead or alive, probably. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, he's got. And then
I thought for sure in that scene we were going to get a nice little Indiana Jones slide through I thought it was going to be some kind of little shout out to Indy in those movies. I would have loved if they just did a little Indiana, baseball slide right underneath or right through, I guess, the middle of those doors. I was hoping for it. I was.
But yeah, lucky enough, he the best disguise ever.
Yeah, just throw a green bowler on.
Yeah.
Change nothing else. Just throw that on and you're good.
I didn't recognize him for a moment, I must say.
I mean, if glasses do it for Clark Kent, who knows? Maybe a hat would do it for Harrison.
I'm going to say I did not like how they explained that in the movie.
No.
What did they go with? Hypnotic lens or something? I forget what the hell they said.
Yes.
Hasn't that been used in comics? I'm not a fan of that. I'd almost just prefer just saying glasses just change your appearance enough. Yep. I don't really like the idea of the hypnotic lens thing.
Nope.
I like it. You can have a discussion without knowing, and it makes it more interesting. Everybody having a discussion. People going, oh, everybody knows him, and then you just have a discussion that it could have been.
Oh, so funny thing they did with Henry Cavill when he was Superman. Right around the release of, I think it was Batman vs Superman, they did this marketing thing where they had him go out into Times Square wearing a Superman shirt. But just wearing a pair of glasses just to see if anybody would recognize him, and nobody actually ended up recognizing him.
It's actually true. When I take my glasses off, because I wear my glasses, been wearing them since I was a kid, just constantly. When I take them off, people don't recognize me. And at work, the first years ago, our first high security badges required you to take your glasses off. Well, everyone took their glasses off, so I did. No one thought it was me on my badge. And now they've changed that stance because photography, they didn't want your glasses on because of the reflection.
Yeah.
Now technology's fine. And if you wear glasses, then your badge should have glasses on. So going back to the film that we saw, 3 months ago, the Superman 2025, that did really annoy me, but when you look back, it feels like it was silly. Oh, it's Superman just with glasses. But actually, it does. You do look really different with glasses on.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So that's why with him, that's why I thought, when Kimble was trying to, play with his hair, put a pair of glasses on. It makes you something different. But
maybe because they wanted to shave my beard off and do my hair really short and see what you lot said.
But for the Superman part of this, don't give me the explanation. I don't. No. I hated that. Absolutely hated that.
Yeah, I'd rather you just go with, and I think I've heard that that's been done in comics, and that's something where I'm like, just because it's done in comics doesn't mean it was a good choice then either. Not, you know what I mean? No. Like, doesn't necessarily mean it was a good choice. There's bad comics and bad decisions made in comics too. I prefer just puts on glasses, looks different. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, so they get off there now. He's after, because there was a scene, he said he wouldn't go to the press, and now he's having to go to the press to kind of feel like, he's in the city, they need help. But he's would, I don't know if Nave said, would you consider him dangerous and armed? We would consider him dangerous. I think one of the Chicago cops say, don't they? So but from that, we get out. He's in a new place again, still doing his investigating work. Now he's hunting down one of the other,
the last one on the list, right? It's literally the last guy on the list.
Now I never got this bit because this is his home. Just to say, why would he be boarded?
I don't know. You could
If you've
make an
got like
argument depending.
flats, if you've got flats, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like maybe there was a flat downstairs, or he was breaking into a house next door to. Remember, he gets on the roof.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that this is his home, but either way, I was thinking the way this row house was, he's kind of going into there could be like a flat on the basement floor, just like the one he was living in, right? It just.
And with the boarded up windows, probably rough neighborhood type of thing, and probably broken into before, that type of stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
This is one of my problems with this bit, and I will go when we get there, because we get now what we get the first picture of what we kind of get flashbacks of what we don't really see, and then he gets more flashbacks, and this is the person who he's had a fight with, who definitely now we know in Richard Kimble's memories killed his wife. So gets angry, finds all the information, kind of starts putting the pieces together of this Devlin, was it
Devlin
McGregor?
McGregor, is that right?
Who are like, they've got a partnership. We see like evidence that this pharmaceutical company was part of something, but we don't know what. And
he's got pay stubs from this company.
Now, and now we get this call. He calls Sam, and I like it. Yeah, there's somebody saying they're Richard Kimble. Yeah, I'll take it. Something like that. And it's like, this is him. It actually is him.
Do you remember what you said to me in the tunnel? Do you remember what I said to you? So that right away he knows it's him.
Yeah. So we get that, and then of course we get now back to the thing. Now this is where I think, because he's got a little flat or whatever, like a downstairs apartment, because he goes in, when they bring him in, they say, what's the problem? Was it a break-in upstairs or downstairs? Yeah. And he takes the Mickey going, oh, is this the you all know my name, what a party? Is this the trench coat society? And then you find out, well, how did you lose your arm in the line of service? So he's got, I don't know what payoff, I'm guessing, for that. But he also is working, like, he's head of security for the pharmaceutical company for all their bigwigs. He's not just a security person, he arranges security for them.
Yeah, he does the executive protection.
And he's living in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my problem. He should have been a little bit, it should have been a little bit nicer like that. And then Kimble gone, you've earned money off this, because it looks like he's either, it looks like he's not earning money at this point. He's like a dog for hire, let's call that. Like, it just, at this point, it just didn't get me that his house or like flat, when he found him, should have been really nice. That he's a corrupt ex-cop.
I thought of that too, but then it put me right in mind to Sean Connery in The Untouchables, and some other old cops that we see, whether it's in the films or even in The Sopranos or even in The Godfather. Like, they're living in the houses they grew up in. And it, and so I'm kind of okay with it. Yeah, he's getting these big, huge paychecks. Who knows where they're going? They might be going to family members. They might be going somewhere.
Oh, so you think it's a family home, maybe?
When you see that old retired cop trope, that they're usually alone. They're usually living in a small house. The one episode of The Sopranos where Chris Maltasani goes to take out the police officer that he thought took out his father. He was wrong about that. And he's like, you live in a terrible apartment. What's wrong with you? This is your retirement day. You're living in this squalor. It's kind of a trope. You kind of see it over and over again in different films. And it kind of made me think about that. He might be just in the house he grew up in. Maybe he's got a boat and a resort and a second home someplace else. He talks about the fishing, so maybe he's got a fishing resort someplace else, or spends his money elsewhere. But here he's in this kind of, low down shack with pictures of family around and his meritorious service award.
Well, and you could sell me on the idea too that given what he does, he keeps a lower profile in the area in which he works. Like you said, if he was to have maybe something somewhere else where he kind of puts his money into, or more the lavish stuff, I would understand if maybe this is the New York spot, or Chicago rather, where you keep it a little bit more down low. You don't want to stand out, kind of make the whole appearance look like you are just a retired ex-cop who. Because I mean, I guess you're right. If you lost your limb in the line of service, you'd be probably well taken care of, but probably not enough to say you've got a lot of flashy, lavish lifestyle. So, yeah, this probably fits in with kind of the I don't want to say secret identity, but I guess in a way, kind of secret double life that the guy's living.
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can sell me on it.
This is Jakar. Look at this profile. Look at his face. I mean, there's so much of this actor in that Jakar character. It's unreal. I had no idea. I don't think I'd ever seen him in real life. I don't think I'd ever seen him without his makeup. And what a great character. God, I love that character. Him and I'm gonna have to watch it again. James, okay, so we're not going to go down another baseball route, but James, did you watch Babylon 5 or no?
I did.
You did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not one of my top ones, I must say that, but because I think it was when I watched it, it felt a bit outdated. I watched it later.
Yeah.
But I
Jay,
think
do you ever?
I think
I never have. No, I've heard really good things about it. I've just never.
Quite a good story. It's not one of those series that just goes on and on and on. I mean, it does, but there is an underlying story that kind of like Battlestar Galactica. There's a nice underlying story that ties everything together, and I really like.
I think you have to stick with it. I think the first 3 episodes are quite hard to get through what they're trying to bring.
It's clunky. Yeah.
But it's good. It's good. It's one of those, I guess, in classics that's probably going to be remade and rebutchered. That's it.
But it has so many really just good actors in it. This guy's really good.
But yeah, so when they have their discussion, him and Sam kind of realize he's a bit of a douche and a bit of a liar, and he kind of says, "I want people on him 24/7."
Keep an eye on him.
Oh, he calls him dirty, doesn't he? I thought at some point he just straight out called like, "Oh yeah, he's dirty."
I think so.
I don't feel
he knows right out of the gate.
Yeah, but yeah. So then we get back to Richard calling Gain. Don't care. Don't need to know.
Nichols.
Nichols, that he's what is he doing? He's at another event, and he kind of tells Kimble tells him the puzzle of it's the pharmaceutical company. I think I've worked out there was something going on with such and such.
Lentz,
and he's
the other guy is Lentz.
Mm-hmm.
That I found the one-armed man. They're linked with the pharmaceutical company. There's something going on here. I need to find out more. So that happens, and of course, whilst that happened again, he comes across Jay, you said, a bit slimy, a bit arrogant,
I've got the upper hand and I know it type of thing.
But yeah, and I like how again. Now I put this picture up for 2 reasons.
Batman.
One, Batman, and he thought he was going to play Batman. And I was like, Batman, Joker. So you're going to play Joker. And I was like, oh, yes, I can see it now. When he didn't get the Joker role, I was like, oh, yeah, when Jack Nicholson got it. And then, of course, he got later a Two-Face.
He got Two-Face and then tried to play Two-Face as Joker for some reason.
Yes.
But literally, I was like, look at this. And I was like, oh, he's just, like them lines. Yeah, I could see.
He's got the smile. Him. He's 100% got the smile for it. He's got that stare too. Is intimidating.
Oh, it'd be dark. It would be dark. Yeah.
If I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but put clown paint on his face. I don't know. I don't mean not to call him a clown, but you put Joker's clown makeup on his face, and with that stare, that is an intimidating Joker. If you ask me,
it would make Tim Burton's a bit darker, wouldn't it? It would have made but,
which is with the intensity that I mean, again, not knocking Jack Nicholson's performance is fantastic, but this is one of those cases where, as much as I think they got it right, I still really would have liked to see what this looked like. Versus sometimes we're like, oh, did you hear Russell Crowe was almost so and so, and you're like, oh, interesting, but I think I like what we got better. I'm curious to see what Tommy Lee could have done in that. Oh, Tommy Lee Jones could have done in that.
I'd like to see.
I'm now
him.
interested in see what Tommy Lee would.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I
would like to see I would like to. He has not played the president of the United States yet, has he? I don't think so.
Not
I mean, we've
that
had.
I can think of.
We've had Harrison Ford. We've had, all.
How many go through?
I think he'd be a good president.
What was Ford? Was
Air Force One?
Air Force One. That's right. That was another one of these that was always on. In the late 90s, early 2000s.
He must have. There's got to be something he played.
I wonder if he played one in one of those historic films.
I can't think. I can't.
Space Cowboys. I like. Chip Hazard. Well, apparently going to come back at that, isn't he? Small Soldiers. Going to be remake.
Does he have anything lined up? Sorry, now I'm just kind of going on Tommy Lee.
Yeah,
Jones.
No, yeah,
coming out.
Small Soldiers. They're going to do do it again. Another.
Oh, are they really? Oh, I thought you were just joking. No kidding. I didn't know that.
Oh, JFK was Clay Shaw, wasn't he? That was quite good.
Mm-hmm. So I'm he was in JFK. Yep.
So this is a Tommy Lee Jones. I was just having a look if he was actually a president.
The Razor's Edge is coming back out.
Razor's Edge, whatever that is, I'm not familiar with.
It would have to be a remake. There was an original one.
Yeah, it's apparently in post-production. He's playing the taxman. Is that a main character, side character in the original? I don't know. I'm not familiar. Oh, he was just in Ad Astra too. I forgot about that.
Oh, that was terrible though.
I didn't watch it. I wanted to. I remember watching the trailer and thinking, "Oh, this looks good." Didn't it get nominated for something during award season?
I don't know. It's just one of those ones you're like, "Oh, I love space movies," and that was just so boring. It was just like, please, they tried to do a space odyssey pacing on a movie that needed just to be edited an hour down.
Interesting.
It was like it should have been like a 90-minute movie. It was so badly edited. It was so bad.
I wanted to watch it too.
Yeah,
I just never got around to it. Probably wasn't going to at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. I couldn't even tell you what happened.
Not random space movie. This is a well-known space movie, but kind of a random hot take that I have. I'm not a huge fan of The Martian. I didn't think it was all that good, and people love it. And I know I see it. I'm pretty sure you love it. I will say I do have to watch it again. I only watched it once, and I'm not sure if I gave it enough of a because I want to say I was like mid-20s when that came out, and I think I watched it on like a date. Shot. So I don't know that I was really paying a lot of attention to it.
Any movie with Sean Bean is worth watching.
I don't even remember him being in it, so that goes to tell you the level of attention I was paying. And I've always kind of attributed it.
Agency.
Oh, see, I don't even remember him in it. And I attributed it to the movie lost me and lost my attention, but maybe I got to go back and give it another try. I just didn't have the right attention that night.
That movie, I think it's got to be out. It must be on our list. I do. It's one of
my. I'm pretty sure it's on there. Yeah, because
it's one of my movies that I watch when I'm like, oh, do you know what? I just want to watch something I like.
It is compact.
I didn't know that about you. I didn't know you liked it that much as well.
The writing is exceptional. The story is plausible, for what it is a plausible story. The theme of just using your brain and using your science and sciencing the what out of it. And isn't Julianne Moore in that? No, isn't she one of the other?
No, Anne Hathaway was in Interstellar.
Either way,
was with them in that? I can't
please
remember.
give The Martian another chance, because I'm going to make a request that we all go see Project Hail Mary next April. So that we can review it, because I am so looking forward to that, because the book is just as good as The Martian.
And that trailer did intrigue me when I saw the trailer.
Oh, that trailer!
Even seen it. I'll have to take a look.
Is it? Ryan Gosling, isn't it?
Yeah. It's okay that it's Ryan Gosling. He gets on my nerves, but it's okay. I'm going to look past that.
I like Ryan Gosling. I think he's valid.
But the trailer. You try not to put all your eggs in the trailer. Don't put all your faith in the trailer. But that trailer hit me like I was in the theater watching Superman when I saw that trailer, and people were cheering for that trailer.
Really?
Yeah. And then it said April 27, and we're like, 26. Sorry, 2026, and we were like, oh no.
Yeah, time goes fast. It'll be here before you know it.
Okay, we've gone on another detour. We went down the Batman to the Martian tour here.
And for the record, I didn't think The Martian was bad. I just came out of it feeling like it was overrated. So I got to go
Give
back
it
and give it
another
another shot.
chance.
Do it.
Give it another chance.
Yeah. So yeah, now
And it's a family film. It'll be one that you can watch with Nerd Takes Junior in the theater. It is a family film.
Fair enough.
We watched the BFG today, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you
Nice.
go.
It was like,
I've found myself unable to stop watching old Pixar movies ever since we did A Bug's Life. So today I actually had Incredibles on in the background while I was giving him his bottle this morning.
That's
also on our list, I believe.
Oh, also, fun fact. I meant to actually say another. Sorry, we'll get right back to the movie right after this.
Look,
chat.
we miss 1 week and we just go off the rails because we've missed each other. That's why.
One fun fact about because Toy Story 2 was one of the movies that I watched after watching A Bug's Life that weekend, and one of the bloopers that they do is actually one of Heimlich and Flick from A Bug's Life. And it was an adorable, funny little blooper. And I meant to send it to you guys, but I just got so distracted by the past few weeks. But that was the closest I guess they got to doing A Bug's Life 2 was that exact blooper, which they make the joke about A Bug's Life 2.
That's my kid's favorite, Toy Story 2. Loves that one.
I forgot how good it was, honestly. I've always been a fan of the first over all three.
He's like, what do you want to watch? Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Oh, I've always liked the whole first trilogy. I haven't seen the fourth, but for me, something about the first one, just when I was a kid, like it was the one for me that always stood out as the best. But rewatching 2 was like, damn, I forgot how good 2 actually was. And with that, back to The Fugitive.
Back to The Fugitive.
Also, but Highlander just warned you, also likes Peppa Pig.
I still have to look that up and see what that is.
Oh, Peppa Pig. Yeah, she's pretty popular.
My kids are a little old for Peppa Pig.
Yeah, my niece was at the right age group for Peppa Pig, so I saw a lot of that while she was growing up.
They were Dora the Explorer.
Okay,
I was
in the new one.
I was in the Dora the Explorer.
I have to watch the new one now.
Jay, I think you're closer to my kids' age than you are to my age. I'm thinking.
Well, I grew up at the beginning of Dora the Explorer, so they might have caught a later version of it. In fairness,
yeah.
I just like He-Man.
Transformers.
You know what?
Baby.
There was great things, and it was like the thing is, like everybody forgets at the end of He-Man, when the show ended, they had a life lesson.
Oh my gosh, when Duncan would come out and
having literally a life lesson.
And in this episode, gosh.
There was one that always stuck with me, and it's not actually like I was like that's in my head, and it was only till Jade bought the box set of the whole series, and I watched it because I'm adopted, and it used to goes, "Don't, Lisa, hi there, kids. If you meet somebody at school that doesn't have a mum or dad, these are the reasons why." And it was like give you a whole reason. I was like, that was me. And it was like the next one. It was like, bullying is wrong, and it would give you like this next thing like that. If somebody can't do their ABCs right, they might be dyslexic. It was like really weird. You know, and I was like, what? And I forgot about it, but you watching it on the original.
I remember that now. Yeah.
And it was like so weird, yeah. Like, at the end of He-Man, they would do like, this is the life lessons as well. Yeah, and it would be like, Man at Arms come out and be like, I'm strong, but you got to remember. Like that. It was so
because
weird.
the Highlander said the PSAs, the broadcasters would be required to have the airtime to do public service announcements, and they would jam them in between because it was easier to jam them in between cartoons. Yep. Yeah, G.I. Joe did them. I think Transformers did too. I think that whole gamut, like after school time, because it was He-Man, it was She-Ra, Princess of Power, it was G.I. Joe, Transformers, all that.
And they kind of stopped doing that quickly because I don't really remember that in my programming as a kid. There were always like good morals and things big watched as kids programming tends to be. But I don't remember. I do vaguely remember some of the G.I. Joe kind of PSA ones.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and that was Japanese, isn't it? That came over, and it was dubbed and then changed, and they didn't have it. but that was massive, and I think just everybody followed that suit and not having it,
because
having the
growing
set.
up, we
You have like
didn't really
15
have
minutes,
those.
15 minutes, 15 minutes, advert, 15-minute advert,
Mhm.
doing like that. So,
Did you have Speed Racer?
Speed Racer.
Yeah.
So,
Cartoon?
Can't remember it.
Really?
Can't
Interesting.
remember Speed
I
Racer.
thought
Yeah,
that
you know
was-
Speed Racer.
Yeah, I know of Speed Racer. It was one of the like was it on?
Here he
God,
comes.
I want to say it was
Here
on
comes
Boomerang
Speed
back in the
Racer.
day,
Yeah.
right? Because I
But
remember
it was
Japanese. It was
Yeah,
with
I-
Johnny Quest and some of those.
It
I
was
don't know if it was
dubbed
ahead
in
of our
English
era,
because
but
it was
Yeah,
Japanese.
we
that's
didn't
right.
really get
It was
that, no.
Japanese. Right, because and then Dexter's Lab actually did a Speed Racer episode once that I vividly remember to this day.
Dexter's Lab.
There was Speed Racer was fairly popular. I don't want to say it was fairly popular for my generation, but it was still relevant. It was still, whether it was catching the old episodes on Boomerang or one of those old Power Hours of old cartoons, and or there was a 2004 or 5 Speed Racer live action movie. I think John Goodman was in it.
I have to look that. I remember it now.
Yeah, so like it made a little or attempted to make a little resurgence as a brand for my generation, but it never quite caught.
Dexter's Lab was awesome though, because I was in law
Dexter's
school
Lab
at
was
the
great.
time, and we would go out and do our thing, and then come back and watch Dexter's Lab.
It was so good.
Went a little bit loopy, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Now another completely off topic.
Yeah, we are struggling.
I'm just gonna say, as a Brit, we just got everything David Jason, who you probably don't know.
No,
I know him from
David-
Open All Hours.
No,
right?
David Jason is chat. David Jason.
I don't know.
Wasn't he in that that
No,
stupid comedy with Ronnie? The other Ronnie, not Ronnie Corbett, the other Ronnie.
No. David Jason was, oh my god, Only Fools and Horses. Gee, I nearly forgot. Only Fools and Horses. He was in Open All Hours. You're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Who's
the
the other Ronnie? Not the Ronnie Corbett. The Ronnie. You got 2 Ronnies. There's Ronnie Corbett and Ronnie.
Robbie. Oh, he's. I always forget he's Open All Out. Open All. Oh, what's his name? Ronnie.
Good Lord. It's the old people's hour, chat.
Ronnie Baker. That's it.
Ronnie Baker.
Baker, thank you.
Ronnie
Baker was in Porridge as well. 8 ball, thank you very much.
Now we're into Porridge. Oh my God. Pretty soon we'll be back to
But no,
Monty
David
Python.
Jason did loads of like cartoons. So he did the voice of
Wallace and Gromit.
Duckula.
Okay.
Duckula. What's it? Danger Mouse. All that. Well, we're very British.
Mm-hmm.
Wallace and Gromit. He might have been one, but he
who's
didn't do
the voice
the
in
voice.
the Wallace and Gromit?
Wallace and Gromit was the guy.
Peter Sallis. That's Peter Sallis.
I know Wallace and Gromit. I'm not familiar with the other ones.
No, the one who done he was in a very like early Sunday morning TV show. Like he was like really old, but he died, and then they recast him and did the things, but I can't remember his name. He's like nothing. Nobody really went anywhere.
We are going like so far down.
I said, there we go. Anyway, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole onto things. Let's go back.
Let's go back to the scene.
Just go back. We got 45 minutes left.
I wait to go back and rewatch this stream and just retrace how the hell we just got from this scene to Dexter's Lab and Wallace and Gromit and
Danger Mouse.
I have no idea what train of thought just.
I do like
what
a
L train of thought just dropped us off here. I have no clue.
So yeah, so
we're gonna need to make a map.
So Sam.
Okay, we're back.
Sam
to Tommy Lee Jones.
I don't even know what scene this is at this point. I forget.
No. He's starting to investigate. He's got the He's going.
Isn't it
weird that we've got these people that. So he's kind of putting the pieces together. Now we got then. He's now calling.
Jakar is calling.
Saying they're investigating me, what's going on, whilst then Richard is getting some I don't know what you would say, like some
tissue samples,
tissue samples from some guy who just like, I know you, so
the archivist.
Hey, I love this bit because it was so like I'm just like, I don't, you know what? I don't really care. I'm down in the basement or whatever. It's like, oh, that thing about your wife is what happened. like, and he's like, it's still happening, but like,
He's no
you would
idea.
know, no, like what that thing about my wife that she
Guy
got
doesn't watch the
murdered.
news.
like literally, it's like, okay, but yeah. So we get, now we kind of get. He's now what he wants to get out, and he calls the fire service to get the police to block the view, or the fire service to block the view of the
so he can
the
skip
police,
out.
so he can skip out. And then we get introduction to
Jane Lynch.
Yeah, and she's in everything as well.
She's in everything. She's in every Christopher Guest film. So Christopher Guest, you know, okay, here we go. Spinal Tap this weekend.
Wait for this. Hold it. Can I just go detour?
Yeah. This weekend we have Spinal Tap too.
We got to put it up like a spoiler warning on the screen.
She was
detour.
What is it? Glee. She's one of the teachers in Glee.
Yeah. Oh God, she's been in so much. She's in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Everything.
God. Yeah.
The Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman, all of those Christopher Guest mockumentaries.
Best in Show's Crufts.
Yeah, it's A Mighty Wind, For Your Consideration. I love all those ones. So when we'll talk about Spinal Tap too in a minute. Who knows if she shows up in there. So that's not a detour. We're talking about Jane Lynch here, the actor. But wow, is she young in this role? Oh my God.
But she's got an old face though, isn't she?
Yeah,
she has got an old face.
She looks the same in a way.
So it's funny because I was saying the same thing to my wife about both Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. They're also both people who, as long as they've been in the limelight, they've always had these older looking appearances. So like there's this point in their life where like they look a little too old for their age, and then there's a point where like, oh wow, you actually look a lot like pretty good for your age. Like I would say this, Harrison Ford's 55 or something in his 50s. I don't think he looks 50 in this. So like this is a point where you're like, wow, you look pretty good for your age. And then all of a sudden there comes this, so it's like all of a sudden then there comes this point of then you look your age, and then there's always just like this steep drop off to fast, rapid aging where you're like, oh my God, he's so much older now.
Except for Tom Cruise. Except for Tom Cruise.
But these are three of them where I feel like they kind of did that, where like for a couple decades they looked the same, and at one point it was like, you look a little old for your age, and then it was, wow, you look great for your age, and then you look your age, and then all of a sudden
that is true.
Very old.
That is true.
Yeah, he's one. He's always looked. You know what I mean?
It's like, what's it? The movie Parenthood. He is younger in that
his 30s
than I am now.
Yep.
No, I'm like, what? Like every time I feel what, and he's like, what's it? John Candy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older than him now. I'm like,
yeah.
It's just like that's freaky, and like because you expect like them people, like because they would childhood to be older than you always would be. But Steve Martin is because of the hair. He's always seemed a bit, young, old. Sorry, but so he comes to her to look at some samples, and then he comes very quickly to the conclusion that they have been manipulating the results. So they've got the samples for a vaccination, a drug, or whatever it is.
Well, he knows because he tested and saw the results of this multi-billion-dollar drug that it caused liver damage. But the clinical test proved that it didn't have liver damage. So the drug was sold. All these doctors made millions of dollars, except for him, because he didn't approve it. She, who just happens to be in the lab, she says, not only are these healthy tissues that would, prove that it didn't cause liver damage, but all of the samples were from the same liver. And oh, by the way, they're all dated after they all existed after the tests were done. So it's obvious that someone switched out the samples, and they were really sloppy because they used the samples from the exact same liver, and these were supposed to be different tests. So sorry to get all technical there, but I had to rewatch it because I wanted to know in my brain if they were proving it. And they did. I think they actually did a good job of proving the conclusion that he came to.
Yeah, I would agree.
So
now,
go
ahead.
We get more of the police investigation of like they're tracking down. They now interview one of the other subordinates to Sam, the guy who's the archiver. He's like, I don't know him at all.
He said, I didn't ask you that question. He
like,
asked something about what's gone on just in general. And he said, I haven't seen Dr. Kimble. He said, that's not what I asked you. I think you're lying. So then he grills him and he caves. But hey, they tell him he was there and what he was doing, which is like, okay, he's getting samples. So again, he's not running away. He's trying to prove not just his innocence, but trying to figure out who killed his wife.
But now we've got two kind of in parallel investigations by literally Sam trying to find where Richard is doing his own investigation at the same time. And of course, and then we get like more of the same. We get now a subway scene is like this guy is like reading the paper. Oh, looks up. There's Richard. Looks at the paper.
He's right there.
I like it. Just like, yeah, hello. A little smirk. Yeah, that's me. And then we kind of get our. Now, again, I don't care, but I'm gonna pick is when. Okay, he gets to the policeman. Don't care about that bit. But why wouldn't he wait until he was off the train? At least he's gone to like, okay, I've got to, I'm guessing, end him. I'm guessing the polite word for YouTube is. But why wouldn't you? You've tracked him to the train. You've sat near him. You've waited, and it's just okay. Logic. Brain goes into it afterwards. For the movie, I don't care.
Maybe he wants to do it on the train so that he can exit the train and then, in his mind, Kimble's body would still be on the train, and he could just exit the train. So, you know what I'm saying?
But they get onto a massive fight, and again, Kimble wins. And this time he handcuffs him to like the central bar thing, doesn't he? Like he gets in and then of course he runs off after somebody pulls the emergency. Like, does he pull the emergency one, or is just?
I think he does. Yeah. He does
also
to knock the guy off his balance, right?
And in that train scene, a cop, the cop that the other guy went to go tell on Kimble.
Oh he kills him.
He takes a hit, obviously, which then kind of ignites the Chicago police force. But question for you guys: did you guys recognize that cop who takes the hit on the train by chance?
Ooh,
did either of you happen to be fans of the show?
Oh
Scrubs?
my god!
Yep.
Oh my god!
Yep, that's the janitor.
Oh, I don't know that guy.
So funny thing. So this guy played the janitor on Scrubs, and he was like the main
the dad.
In the middle, I think is
the middle. Yes.
Yep. So he plays the janitor on Scrubs, and the whole ongoing joke with the janitor on Scrubs is he's got this ongoing thing with JD, the main character of the show, where he just messes with them all the time. And funny enough, one bit on one of the episodes is he tries to convince JD that he was in the movie The Fugitive, and the whole bit goes on, and JD's like, "You're a liar, you're a pathological liar," blah 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 blah. And at one point, the janitor turns around as he's like mopping up the floor, and he's like, Hey, Dorian, because his name is John Dorian, says something along the lines of like, not along the lines. He recreates the scene. He holds his fingers, in a weapon fashion. And he goes, Kimble, and he does the same thing. And JD blows it off. He's like, yeah, like you're a liar, you're a pathological liar. You're not actually in the movie. And the whole it's funnier than I'm describing it. You have to kind of know the show and the characters. But then at the end of the episode, JD is watching The Fugitive, and he sees the janitor on it, and he's all like, "Whoa, wait, maybe he wasn't lying the whole." So it was this whole bit they did in the show as well. But it was a great little tie into the guy's acting, career and all that. But yeah, that's the janitor from Scrubs.
Oh, when you said that, I wouldn't like to pick that up because he had such a brief scene. I like that. When you said that, I was like, oh my, literally just that. He's got that jawline, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh wow. No,
and for the record, I'm not forgetting his name in the show and just calling him the janitor. That's actually his name throughout the entire series.
I can't remember. The middle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I can't remember his name in the middle.
In the middle, I can't remember. I've only seen I watched. That's one of those ones that's always on Syndicate, so it's on one channel or another doing reruns. So I've seen a few episodes of it, and I've enjoyed it. But I've never because Patricia Heaton for Everybody Loves Raymond is in that as well. So I've seen pieces of it, episodes of it, but not the entirety. So I can't remember his name. But it's also a pretty funny little, not a sitcom.
It's like an offshoot. They did it to like Malcolm in the Middle, didn't they?
That type of family comedy type of thing. It's good. But yeah, he's the janitor in the show, and that's what they always call him, and all that. But I can't recommend Scrubs enough. By the way, fantastic show.
But yeah, so anyway, off the Malcolm in the Middle, whatever, and everything else we bypassed.
Our most latest detour.
So Kimble gets off the train. Now as Jay said, because one of their police has been, I'm guessing he's been killed.
I think that's what happened.
He checked him to see if he could help him, and
that's okay. I couldn't quite remember how they left him.
So they're all up, and then we get to a association dinner, another one that we got at the beginning. It's trying to get funding, and the key speaker is, and I don't remember his name again,
Nichols.
Is there, and of course Kimble has got all the pieces together and he's a little bit angry, so he turns up, walks straight through how he got through security, and I'm guessing it's
probably no security. It's a hotel, you know.
But
no.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody goes to these boring dinners. Nobody wants to go to these boring dinners.
Been to many.
Been to many. Mm-hmm.
So they recognize, and then he kicks off. He's waiting, and then he's starts to out the reasons why he's here because of the manipulation of the test results. They confront each other. Look, I'll take you to the side. Everybody else is panicking. You can see a couple of people run off,
but everyone's hearing it, which is good. Like everyone's hearing him, say that you faked the tests, you knew the drug was dangerous, and you pocketed the money, and so everyone's hearing that, which is good.
And was it when he pushes him? And he's like, "Let's go out," and then we get into like a kind of a basement scene. Unfortunately, I'm thinking good shots, but we get into things, and then we get into the high. They go up high, don't they? Go into the roof first. Not a basement yet. Roof. They have a fight. Very, very silly. Whilst then the marshals are kicking it, coming in. He's on the roof. But also we got now the helicopter shooting at him.
Foxtrot is trying to light them up, and Tommy Lee Jones is like, call them off. I don't want to get shot up here.
We have marshals on the roof, and then Hollywood skylight. Don't
through
care.
The elevator skylight. How cool is that?
And
through the elevator skylight that has an elevator with one open portion of the escape hatch there that also has plenty of comfy linens to fall into.
What's going on with the padded linen?
Very convenient. Really. And also, in my experience, if an elevator's got materials in it like that, it's probably on independent service because somebody's moving it up and down at their own will to get materials up and down. So unlikely it's going to be callable from that spot, but I'll let that slide.
You are the expert in these facilities matters, Jay.
Yeah, I know a few things. I've been around the block a few times.
But so they fall through, and it's building up. We're getting to the kind of end. But then they get to the kind of, I guess it's like the laundry area.
It's definitely the laundry. It is the laundry.
Where they all get out, battered and bruised. They just be it'd been a kind of elevator crash kind of thing. And yeah, we get the back and forth. We get kind of what's the other guy called? He gets hit by something in the like a
Oh, the
Oh,
Pantaleon,
it's
his
just
Renfro.
an
I think his name
I-beam.
is
Yeah,
Renfro.
he gets
Yeah.
high
cracked in the forehead with an I-beam.
because that would
Yeah,
be
seriously.
their health and safety. Come on,
Yeah, I
exorcist,
couldn't
Just hanging.
understand that. Hanging around on a sliding track. I couldn't understand what that was for.
Yeah,
But
don't get it. But who cares?
Owie,
I don't
man.
care. And then
yeah, I was kind of thinking that as well, saying, I'm like, imagine taking that to the face. Oh my God, that you would, I mean, your whole face would be fractured. You would have
Oh,
from
that's where
forehead
he
to
gets
chin.
off, and he gets off on a gurney, doesn't he?
Right,
After?
yeah. He's talking too much for somebody who just got
No.
cracked in the face with that. You'd be fractured forehead
Your
to chin.
teeth, yeah,
Oh
your
my
teeth,
God.
yep.
gone.
Eyes
your front,
cracked.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be awful.
But they have a fight, and then of course, Richard takes out the things by literally smacking him in the legs. There's a bit of back and forth, doesn't he?
Because he's aiming at Tommy Lee Jones.
He's aiming at Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. So then Tommy turns, realizes what's going on is by this pit, like what we could really get is he's actually kind of saved me in a way, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that, and then this is worse. I do care. What's he say? Oh,
Well, he says something like, they killed my wife, and he says, I know.
That's it. That's it. I know.
He doesn't say I didn't kill my wife, but he says they're killing me. They're trying to kill me. They killed my wife, and he says, I know, Richard. Let's go. And he just says, it's over, Richard. Let's go.
Yeah, and then of course, then he gets led out. Everybody else is being arrested. And then, of course, he gets dragged out. The press have got wind of it. Everybody's there, and I do like this little interaction at the end. Them in the police car. He does. They don't say anything. He just like gets the keys, takes it out, like that, and that's all. And he just says, "Yeah,
Hands
don't
him a
let
little ice
anybody else.
pack.
Yeah, don't let anybody else. That I'm
He
nice."
says, I thought you didn't care. He said, well, don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
because he can't make the decision. He's just bringing him in. He's still got to bring him in. It's got to be the prosecutors have to decide to reverse the charges, reopen the case, and all that has to happen. And the Sam character will have plenty of evidence to turn over, and then you've got Nichols, knocked out on the floor of the laundry room, who's going to be brought in, and you've got the one-armed man on a train. But he's still got to take him in. And he puts his arm on him. He says, just don't tell anybody.
And then end scene, they go away. And I always think, this is another like 2 years of like court drama, really. And then he probably got found guilty anyway, and he went back to prison.
No, Tommy's on his side now. No.
But one of the questions I turned to my wife and asked was, so what do you think if this was a real scenario in real life? What do you like? How does the law play out or determine, like, okay, we got it wrong. You were innocent in the first place, but in the process of proving your innocence, you committed a lot of crimes, from fleeing, escaping, all these kind of, like, where does the law then come in to say, but if we didn't wrongly accuse you, you wouldn't have had to have done all those things? I was just kind of kidding, because he at some point technically steals policemen's firearms and ditches them into a trash bag. Like there's quite a few things
that vehicle.
Steals an ambulance.
Impersonating a doctor.
Technically, he is a doctor, though, so I could see.
Yeah, but he's impersonating, like,
right in that moment and signing off on the order. Right, like there's a lot. Because I'm guessing he lost his license in the process. Things.
Stealing an old man's food and clothing.
Marking a parade without a permit.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of curious. I'm like,
at least jaywalked once.
How do they
breaking and entering?
How do they determine that at the end of all of it?
I think they have to pull it all.
Yeah. I would think, be like,
together.
I mean, he doesn't have to do all that to prove his innocence if you just never wrongfully put him in jail in the first place. So is it like we just call it a wash and go our separate ways? Or do they try to get him for something? I just thought it was an interesting afterthought at the end of the movie.
We're going to give you like compensation.
Don't sue us.
They owe him some compensation. The Chicago PD owes him something for sure.
Right. Like, let's just all walk away from it, wipe our hands, and call it a day.
Yeah, especially like you got the death penalty and you got it wrong.
Right. You know what I mean? That's the thing, is like
real.
you literally couldn't have gotten a more, decisive punishment wrong in the sense of, one, I mean, and also, like, it's not just you got the death, he was given the death penalty for the crime he committed. It's the crime you were accusing of committing was killing his own wife. So he's got to now live with that idea of that's what everybody thinks of. Like, it's a pretty significant, ruling to get wrong. So you would imagine they would just kind of say, all right, let's just call it a wash, and all the crimes you committed afterward are fine. No big deal.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting question kind of at the end of that movie.
Absolutely. Would make for a good sequel, but it doesn't need a sequel.
Baby. I can hear a baby.
Yeah, I just heard. I think he just woke up from his nap. But it does have a sequel, which I was surprised to find out. I didn't know that. Or
yeah, U.S. Marshals.
Somewhat of a sequel, which I never knew that.
It's not it's a different kind of story. It's
And I'll actually be right back. I believe my wife's got little baby nerd takes it, but I just want to make sure they don't need
Good
an
luck.
extra hand. I will be right back.
Right.
But as we said earlier, the story is based on the 1963 television series, The Fugitive, created by Roy Huggins. It was somewhat popular. My mom liked it. My mom remembers it. It ran for 3 seasons. It didn't really come to a conclusion or an end, and it had the same names and the same nemesis, the one-armed man that Richard was always searching for. This film was adapted by Jeb Stewart, Tim Toohey, and also with the input of Roy Huggins, the original creator, and was directed by Andrew Davis. We've already talked about all of these people. Oh, except I called Richard Rochard. We've talked about all of these folks here, and really great performances across the board. I don't think there's a stick performance in any of the cast members. It was filmed mostly in Chicago, and as I mentioned, the one exception was the Kiowa Dam in North Carolina. So the great big iconic scene was that location in North Carolina, but everything else is taking place in and around Chicago as it was supposed to be. Now, as for the results, I do want to spend a minute on this. This is 1993. This is the year of Jurassic Park, one of my favorite movies of all time. The budget for this film was a little bit modest, even for that time. It was $44 million, which would have equated to just shy of $100 million, it adjusted for inflation. It made money. This film made a tremendous amount of money. 1993 was a great year for the box office. It made $370-ish million at the box office, which would be $838 million adjusted for inflation today. Really a success, almost, a 9 times the budget. It won, Tommy Lee Jones won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. The film received 6 other nominations for Oscars. It won the BAFTA for sound and also had 3 other BAFTA nominations, nominated both in the Best Film category and Best Editing category for both the Oscars and the BAFTAs, but didn't win. It was the highest grossing film of 1993. However, I always want to caveat this because we talked about some of the other films in 1993, like Demolition Man, and I think number 3 was Mrs. Doubtfire. There are a lot of great films. There is a Toy Story movie on this list. I think it is Toy Story 2. But when you say the second highest grossing film of 1993 is such an anomaly because Jurassic Park just absolutely dominated. Even though it was the second highest grossing film, it took less than 1/4 of the box office that Jurassic Park did. So the $368 million that it took in 1993, Jurassic Park took so far above $1 billion that the number 2 didn't even make it to 1/4 of what Jurassic Park made that year. So what a great, another one to say, what a great year. to go out to the films, right? So my
There we
my
go.
parents are like, "Hey, let's
Absolutely.
go see this movie. We like Harrison Ford. We like Tommy Lee Jones." We had just seen Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was
Here we
amazing.
go. I'm
There
I'm
was
gonna go
something.
things. So 1994.
Yeah.
What was the best picture?
94. I don't know.
Same director as Jurassic Park, but not Jurassic Park.
Best picture. Let's see. I have the
Oh
other
God, I've got it up
nominees.
here. I've got it up here. Schindler's List.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay.
Spielberg
That
won
What a
that, things like
year.
that.
makes sense.
Tom
And
Hanks
then
won for Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, and then Holly Hunt for The Piano. Adore that movie. And then Tommy Lee Jones, and he was up against Leonardo DiCaprio for Eating Gilbert Grape, Ray Fiennes, Schindler's List,
Daniel Day-Lewis in The Name of the
and
Father.
yeah, but he was up against Peter Postlethwaite in Name of the Father as well, and yeah. So
Anthony Hopkins, The Remains of the Day.
mhm,
I mean, look at these. John Malkovich for In the Line of Fire.
yeah,
Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It. That was a fantastic film. Emma Thompson, Remains of the Day. When you look at, just
so
look
yeah,
at
there
all
we go.
these films.
And so I said the music in this movie, I think it sets the tone. I said that earlier. He was nominated. James Newt Howard was nominated for The Fugitive for the
I did not know that.
best music original score.
And
I think
Schindler's
that's where
List
it's been-
won.
Yeah, John Williams though.
But you're
you have
looking.
John Williams. John Williams is always going to win.
He's just going to have a John Williams. But I mean, you're looking. The year when you had all of these amazing, amazing films. And Jurassic Park wins for sound, by the way. Jurassic Park beats The Fugitive for sound. But you've got, how can you, and then once you get past into all the technical categories, then you got Jurassic Park, visual effects, sound editing, over and over again. Jurassic, once you get into the technicals, it's Jurassic Park. Sleepless in Seattle was this year. Again, In the Name of the Father, Remains of the Day. This was a good year.
What's the movie? Sorry, Highlander. What's the movie you refuse to see? What's the movie you refuse to see? A movie. What is that? I'm intrigued now.
I hope. I hope
you're
not.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Schindler's List.
It's hard. It's hard. We had to watch it. We kind of had to. But it just emphasizes what a good year we had. And it also now brings me to what a year we have. So this weekend, I mentioned Jane Lynch. We've got 2 films that I'm actually considering. I'm going to see one tomorrow. I don't know which one. Spinal Tap 2, I really want to see, and Downton Abbey, I really want to see. They both, they both.
Next week. We were going to see it on Friday, and then me and Jade were like, Jade was a bit poorly. I was like, I want to concentrate because this is the last time, and I was like, I want to concentrate.
It won't be the last time. They'll make one with the kids. They'll make one with the next generation.
Maybe
because we're not in. So what are we past World War II now, or no? Yeah, we're past World War II. So
yes,
we've got to have something else happening.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Julian Fellows will keep going. We should discuss whether we need a special.
But we have to get Jay to watch the whole of Downton Abbey.
Jay needs to watch all of Downton Abbey.
Your wife will love it. Trust me.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to ask if she's ever actually had any interest in watching it. I don't.
It's great.
Think
it was one of those ones
it?
I picked up later. I was like, oh, is it that? Oh, okay, whatever. And I like Gosford Park and all that. And I was like, okay.
I love Gosford Park.
People were on about it, and then I watched it. I was like, this is brilliant. This is really good. And then that was it.
You can just get lost in it. Just get lost in it, and just enjoy.
A little bit of fun.
It is just a little bit of fun. And then after that, at least for me, again, looking over the next several weeks, there are some historic re-releases coming out. I can't believe I'm saying that my favorite of all time, Apollo 13, is 30 years old next week. And so there is a 30th anniversary special re-release of Apollo 13. So
that would be good at cinema. I never saw it at cinema.
I might need to do the I didn't either. Sadly, I didn't. I don't know why. It's become my favorite film, but I didn't. And I'm really happy to announce, and maybe it's also somewhere near you, James, Battle Royale's 25th anniversary is October 12th. 4 weeks from today, at 4 weeks from this weekend, and there is a re-release. It doesn't list theaters here, but on this Box Office Mojo site, it does say Battle Royale 25th anniversary.
We'll have to look at that.
Could be a few things
they're
to look
going to be
up.
limited cinemas, but yeah, I'll have to have a look, see if there's a.
I have to see. So I chose this film, and when it came up on the wheel, I don't know how the two of you thought about it. Jay, you hadn't seen it, in one sitting before. So I'll leave my my impressions to the end. But Jay, I'd like to hear yours first.
I honestly enjoy this film. I like it. One, I think it's just a fun, I don't want to say fun given the material on it, but it's just like a good quality 90s action thriller. I like all the themes it kind of messes with in terms of all the types of, criminal movies, so to speak, from a little bit of a prison escape, a little bit of a chase, a little bit of a murder mystery. Like, I kind of like how it blends all those crime film type of elements together into one. Like I said earlier, I think the trick they pull off with the pacing, I think, is really interesting, where it's very rushed at the beginning while he's trying to escape and just get to a place where he can figure out what's next. And then once he gets to that kind of breathing point where he can try to figure out what's next and how he continues his plan, the movie kind of slows down a bit, as does his motions and not motives as much as just his way of moving throughout the rest of his, journey in this movie. So I like all that. Like you said, I mean, and a lot of the reasons it got its awards or nominations, I think it's all really well done. The sound design, the editing, the acting, all that stuff, really good. I think the one big issue for the movie, for me personally, is one where I think the awards people kind of noticed as well, and it seemed to be one of the ones they left out of nominating it for anything, was just the writing. The writing is a little too convenient at times, a little too... I know we are able to, and at least I was personally, it sounded like Stasis as well, and I would imagine Sandy, since this was your pick, I think we were all able to nitpick it where it needed to be, but also not let it bother the watching experience, which I think is a good thing when movies do have writing flaws, but it doesn't really ruin the experience of watching the movie for you. I think that's the best way you can have writing flaws. I think most people would agree with that. It sucks when the flaws really just take you right out of the movie. So whenever you do have those flaws, but you're still able to enjoy the movie, I think that's a credit in itself of how good the rest of the movie is. But I still can't quite overlook some of those areas that I was picking on in terms of their choices for writing and just kind of basic logic. Some stuff you can let go, like the elevator thing I was picking on at the end. That's something very few people are really going to worry. Like, I think we all noticed the kind of falling through the hen house and landing in the open elevator with the linen is a little silly. But even me going as far as to say, well, that elevator would really be on Independence. Like, that's just nitpicking too far. I can let that go. The independent service stuff and all that. But, the other stuff that we picked on, I think, is a little bit more justifiable to say, yeah, that's a little bit of thoughtless writing or a little bit of too much convenient writing. So I think it does so great in so many areas. I think the writing is an issue, but not an Achilles heel. I don't think it ruins the movie. So I give it a really solid 6. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun, again, I hate saying fun when it comes to movies that cover this kind of stuff, but in terms of just, when you go into an action thriller, you want to feel like you're on a little bit of a thrill ride. And I think in a kind of a fun sense in that way. And I think this movie does that. I think it gives you a good chase, a good mystery, a good, kind of clever solving of it all and wrapping it all up to know who the good guys and bad guys truly are by the end of it all. And hats off to Tommy Lee Jones. I think he's phenomenal in this. So yeah, I land on a definite recommend. One I will watch again. Not perfect, but hey, nothing is. Good 6.
Excellent.
Excellent.
James, let's hear from you.
I like this movie. I just think it's one of those ones that comes on and you get drawn to because it's just an easy and I'm gonna say fun ride. It's just an easy ride. It does what it said. Like I'm gonna say a British. It does what it says.
Yeah, maybe that's the way I was looking to word it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, because it's if you take it as you can't put it in like a it's not really a thriller, it's not an action, it's like I think it was what's name said earlier, it's just a chase movie and it's greatly set up. Like it's easy to watch because you get in the first 20 minutes done, then the next 10 minutes is like you've got everything set up, and then you've got an investigation, and it's just like you're like whilst you're watching, it's going at such a fast pace. It's bumbling and bumbling and bumbling and bumbling along, but you're intrigued by it all because you're at the same pace as the movie. I think it's great. I think Tommy Lee Jones steals it, and the Oscar. Okay, does he deserve the Oscar by the other people? I'm going to say Pete Postlethwaite is probably better in Name of the Father, but for this, he's great in it. He's great in it. I think, yeah, I think him and Harrison Ford really work over each other. The rest of the cast are just the cast in this. It is things, but it does what you expect this kind of thriller, kind of crime drama to do. I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's a firm 7. I just because it's not a movie. I don't think that tries to do what it's not. It doesn't need to be over clever, and it knows where it needs to drain in its errors into. Like the music, I think helps. Like it's got some interaction. The editing, whoever edited this one, did they win the Oscar, Sandy?
They did not, but here's the note on the editing. So for best editing, this film has the most people nominated in that category in the history of the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 people. And it reflects that teamwork of those 6 people: David Verkler, Finfer, Goodhill, Bruchot, Richard Nord, Don Hennig. All those people work together flawlessly on this film.
But that's it. Like how they got that, not showing a crime, but with showing the crime and then the investigation without showing the investigation, and then giving you that. We've not given you a courtroom drama, and you just you've crossed it all over. But like that first 30 minutes are edited so well that you know the whole what you're getting into, so you're geared up to the rest of it. The chase, I suppose, like that the Tommy Lee Jones moment, it just gives you a great movie, and it doesn't give you an epic movie. It just gives you a fun, good, great movie. I think this one it depends on your mood. Do you fancy this? And you're going to enjoy it. If you don't fancy it and fancy The Bug's Life, you're not going to enjoy it. But if you do fancy it, you know what? I just want to see a thriller, crime chase, whatever. You sit back and you think it's good. You know, it's just a great watch. It's not going to be an epic. But it is a recommend. I think it's a recommend because it is just a little bit of fun. It is just a bit of fun. That's why I don't think it is like your 8s or 9s or 10s. I don't think it is, but I think a good 7, even 7.5, you're going to go up there is great. Like the editing is great. I think for them first 30 minutes, you're going to go for a 9. It is great. It's it's that kind of bringing a movie together, like the Star Wars editing, kind of like to get a movie coherent. That's why yeah, I think it's a good one. It's a good one. It's very good. Thank you, Sandy, for putting it on the wheel.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. I too gave it a 7. And I appreciate both of your assessments of the film, and always it's, it's great to hear how other people see the same film. I really find this film to be technically an exceptional example of filmmaking, editing, sound, cinematography. If you also look at the choice in filters at different points in the film, so when, in the beginning, when he's on his first escape and it's kind of gray, there's no leaves on the trees, he's kind of tracking around the water until you get into the city. And there's the lights of Chicago and it's bright, and then you're in these old buildings and in the hospital. This film, I think the lighting is absolutely perfect in this film. There are films that we feel like have a filter over the whole film and have a certain look. This film just looks real, has a very realistic feel. I think also, to the credit of the filmmakers, they really used Chicago. And I made a point of saying how this was, filmed in all these real places in Chicago, except for, the dam, because there's not one like that near Chicago. And it made for a dramatic scene that is certainly iconic and it's great. But I think they use Chicago from using the L to the, that old great. I could go into the architecture of that one building that he goes into, to the lockup building, because there are certain fixtures in that building that are indicative of the early 1900s Edwardian period. We're not going to go there. But I just love how this team, the editing team, the cinematography team, they must have storyboarded the heck out of this film. Like, I can't imagine, this film must have taken quite a while to develop before shooting began. But then in my head, I bet the filming of this film happened really quickly, because the whole of the story is so compact and so well told that I have to think it took a short time to film, but a really long time to plan and execute. And that's the mark of any good project manager. You're going to take 10 times more time planning before you get to execution. It's also like the measure twice, cut once philosophy. But overarching all of that, you've both said it, we've said it multiple times, are the performances of Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. And I, as I mentioned at the beginning, I did not give Harrison Ford the credit he deserved for this film, because I had in my mind that he wasn't the greatest of actors in this film. I had in my mind that, his Indiana Jones for me is his best performance ever. I do like him in the Jack Ryan films. I think that's his next best performance. And then Star Wars. I'm taking another look at this and thinking this is exceptional. And then for both him and Tommy Lee Jones, and Jay, you remarked about the writing, and I do think there are a few holes in the writing of the story. There's a few of those places where we ask ourselves questions, but we kind of put it to the side. Oh, he didn't really answer that question, or this time travel didn't make sense. But you know what? There's not a lot of dialogue. There's not. So the exchanges are very pithy, very witty. When you get to Tommy Lee Jones's dialogue, it's very witty because there's not a lot of it. It's very compact. He says what he needs to say quickly, whereas Harrison Ford is saying what he needs to say through his expressions, through the flashbacks he's having, about the night his wife was murdered. I think it comes together so well. No, it's not a groundbreaking film, but it's a great example. It's a great example for filmmakers. So for me, it is a 7. That's a great score. It's a definite recommend, a definite rewatch. And I am so glad that the first time I saw this film, I saw it on the big screen. So I really do hope, again, going forward, as we look at these next few weeks coming ahead and maybe next few years of films coming out, that there are some great films that folks can get out of their houses, get from behind their televisions and their little tiny devices that they watch films on now, which is so disturbing, and go to a cinema and see a film like this on a big screen.
That's one thing I try to tell all my friends. A lot of them are just like, no, like a new movie will be coming out. Like, oh, I want to check that out. And there's like a handful, and they're like, oh, I'll wait till it's on digital. I'm like, man, you guys really just don't love to go to the big screen anymore? And even in my own friend group, I'm seeing it's just a fading a fading.
The worst thing they did is like
hobby.
The worst thing they did was it's in what like less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, it ruined
Superman
everybody's.
was like what
it ruins
4
it.
weeks, right?
It ruined everybody's urge to go to the theater unless you enjoy
That's
going
it.
to the theater. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so unfortunate. I'm
It's
such a theater person. I love nothing more than going to the movies. You get your big popcorn, your icy, you sit down, your candy, whatever it is, and you just sit down and you just enjoy it for a good 2.5 hours stretch.
Yeah, but the thing is, you get entertained beforehand. You used to get like a little bit of trailers. Oh, great, you know, like that. And
well, even that's kind of ruined these days because every trailer goes online. So by the time you get to the trailers in the movie, you're like,
oh, I know,
dude, I've already seen these. And now
Yeah.
I will say they've also extended the trailers too long, which for my wife and I being late people to movies all the time. Well, yeah, then there's that problem too, where you kind of know the whole movie by the time you watch one trailer. But with the length and the amount of trailers they do now, my wife and I cannot make it to a movie on time for some reason to save our lives. I don't know what it is about going to the theater, but we just can't make it on time. And every time we end up like 15 minutes late of when the movie was supposed to start. And I tell her every time, I'm like, honestly, honey, don't worry about it. Like the trailers are still going to be going on.
Okay, yeah.
And we get time. I'm not kidding. Time to go in, get our tickets. Well, we usually do online tickets, but get them scanned. Go get some concessions, all that, make it to the seat. She can stop at the bathroom first if we need to, meet me in the theater at the seat, and we're still on time for the movie. So the amount of trailers they're doing at this point is out of control in the first place. If you're telling me I can be 20 minutes late to a movie and not miss the first scene, that's too many trailers. And the ads as well, you're right.
Yeah.
Then just you see the trailers online beforehand, so it's not that special seeing them in the movie. They just kind of become annoying because it's like, dude, I just want to get to the movie I want. I can watch this trailer 60 times in a row on YouTube later if I want to. So they've and I love the trailers. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to like make it seem like I'm negative about the idea of trailers before a movie. They've just kind of ruined the fun of that with the one over stuffing them with the trailer portions with too many, and two we've just seen them all by the time we hit the theater.
I know. It's mad like that. I think me and Sam is like you just turn up to cinema and you used to. I remember like
that was the
we
best.
talked about.
You didn't even have to plan. There was too much to choose from.
I remember Dan, not that Dan, another Dan, went to the cinema, and I can't remember what movie we went to see, but we had to get a bus to the big cinema, and the bus got delayed, whatever, in traffic or whatever. So we got there, rushed in. And they were like, "Oh, the film's already started," and like, "Oh, but what? We're here. What's the next movie? Let's go in." And never heard of it. And they were like, "Oh, there's a movie, Philadelphia. Do you want to go see that?" We were like 16.
Oh, geez, that's a lot. That's a heavy film.
Me and my mate were the only ones watching that movie. We look like a 16-year-old gay couple watching a Tom Hanks movie about a guy with AIDS, and then we both come out. We were crying at the end. We were like,
fair enough.
What is that movie? It's like a great movie, but
emotional movie, man.
Like came back after the guy was like, bloody hell, what was that? Yeah, we were the only ones there.
You went in for Die Hard. Somehow you left with Philadelphia.
We're like, what is going on here? But that is it. Like that is like movie going. I used to love that. Just turning up to cinema and going, that movie.
Yeah, and that was even still a thing in my day. We used to do that at $2, not $2, like $5 Tuesdays, whatever it was. We would just meet up at the local meetup spot. We all hop into one of our friends' cars. We head over to the theater and just go there. What are we gonna watch? And it's just not. All the friends I used to do that with, they no longer like going to the theater anymore. They just wait for digital.
Fantastic Four back in its day, I probably would have give it a punt, and then straight away because they do this pre-release, this early access, this pre-screening, and then you just get everybody going, oh, it's crap.
Yeah.
And everybody just goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to save my whatever, $50 or whatever, like you take the kid, it's like $80. Like as soon as they get like food, what is it now? Like what for you guys?
Oh,
like $15?
If I go to the movies, just my wife and I, it's not, I'm not kidding, not even including the tickets. I think the tickets are about $13, maybe $13.50 or something for 2 adult tickets, maybe $14.50. I don't even know, but it's somewhere around that range. So there's the tickets alone, but then when you get to the concessions, it's at least 30 to 40 bucks, if not more.
You get popcorn, you get Coke or whatever.
Oh, I've gotten hit for like 50 bucks plus. Yeah, Pepsi, exactly. I've gotten hit for like 50 bucks just for the standard. Nothing crazy, just a popcorn to share, 2 drinks and a box of candy.
The thing is, people in the back of there goes, hold it, I pay $6 a month for
Netflix
for Netflix or whatever service, and it's going to be on there for free in 3 months' time. What's the point?
I mean, you look at HBO Max. Superman, I know it's only digital now, which I think the renting is still like $20. It's an expensive rent.
Yeah, but it's already straight away. I guarantee it's pirated, and most.
Well, yeah, that I'm sure. But even beyond that, it's like, okay, then I'll just wait another month. You know what I mean? Like if it took a month just to get it to this $20 digital version, I'll wait another one. It'll be on HBO Max. Like, I understand the choice of people who make that choice. It's just a bit of a heartbreaking one for me as a movie fan and as a theater going fan, because I do believe that's the best way to see movies. And I'm not going to tell people how they have to watch movies. If you like to watch them that way, be my guest. I have no issue with that. My major concern is just that the lack of people going will one day end it for me as well, whether I want it to or not. I hope theaters don't become what drive-in movie theaters became, because from what I understand, drive-in movie theaters back in the day were all over the place. And in my childhood growing up to my adult life now, I've seen maybe 2, maybe 3 drive-ins my whole life. And a few of them were pop-ups that came up during the, a few years back when theaters were closed and all that. For YouTube's sake, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but during that whole thing in 2020, when you weren't allowed to go to things, that's when I saw some more drive-in, makeshift drive-ins, people who had a big white sheet and just threw them up at a parking lot type of thing. But like the actual standard kind of drive-ins, like that's just, maybe it's my region too. Maybe it's where I live. I don't know, but they've never been around for the most part as I've been to adult.
I must say the problem I think with cinemas as well, they forget they need to make it more of an experience. And I think that because a lot of my experience is watching TV, and I think look at the TV, me and Stanley probably watching a small TV, and now we've all got 50-inch, 55-inch, 60, 70-inch screens or whatever it is. That's a big TV in a small room. Sound system feels like a cinema. Make your cinema experience an experience. What they don't do,
and that's the thing, Stasis. Here they actually do that a bit. Like they have been working on it here, where like I don't know a theater in my state that I've gone to that hasn't had full reclining comfy seats. We have what's called the
nice cafe and one of ours.
30 minutes my bum, I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, no, we're past those seats now. Like most theaters, I have not seen a theater with those seats in maybe 15 years here. Like that's how long we've had this upgraded theaters, and it's still just not doing it. We've got some theaters called at least in our area here, that one, it's called like a super luxe. So like you order drinks and food, and they'll bring it out to your seat. You've got a little table attached to your chair.
They bring you a blanket if your legs are getting cold.
It's crazy. I mean, they couldn't be rolling out a better 5-star service, and it's still not enough. People are just turning away from the theaters, unfortunately.
And I think
it's
that's
sad.
where I
hope it doesn't go away, but
no.
Whatever film I'm seeing tomorrow, there's one in Rockville, Maryland. It's called Pike and Rose, and it's the full theater cafe. You get there, you from your table, you use your phone, you order your food, your drink, whatever.
Awesome.
They give you a little blankie, a little pillow. It costs. Now, this is the place that costs just for the ticket, it's $25.
Yeah,
and then
you're paying for what you get for sure.
But it's a great date night. It's a great date night.
Absolutely. And I like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to watch movies. You watch them however you want to. And I'll be honest, I have a few friends who are still uncomfortable going to movie theaters. And I don't want to talk too much about the reasons why, because obviously, those are YouTube hot topics. But from some of the dangerous things that have happened at theaters in the past with, maybe 10 years or so ago with the Colorado stuff and the Batman movie and all that, I know people who are still to this day scarred by that and don't want it. A good friend of mine tells me, he's like, dude, I like the movies, but I can't help but feel incredibly anxious when I'm sitting in those theaters and the lights go off. I'm like, dude, I get it. It's an unfortunate side effect of that, that event that took place all those years ago. But you're talking that was what, 2010? 15 years later, I still know people who feel the effects of it. So I'm curious how widespread that is and what that's done to theater attendance over the years. It's just, I don't know. It's a sad thing because like I said, as a huge film fan, I'm also a huge movie theater going fan. I just think it's such a fun way to, and like sometimes you get those movies like Spider-Man No Way Home when Tobey Maguire shows up.
Oh,
and I will never forget that theater experience with
Yes.
everybody just freaking out. Like that was an awesome, awesome movie experience. And you can't get that at home by yourself.
Return of the King for me was that experience.
There you
because
go.
I
There's
hadn't
another
seen
one.
the other two in the theater. And I wasn't the hugest Lord of the Rings film fan. I read the books, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why I wasn't thinking it was going to be so great in the film, in the cinema version. But I agree with what AWOL says. The one thing that does give me pause is that I get so annoyed if someone in front of me is on their phone. My vision is so bad that I get glare. And if someone 100 miles away has their phone on, I can't see in the dark. And it just tweaks me off. And I feel like I'm super polite to everyone. And if it's not the phone, it's everyone talking through the film. And it, it is a Baltimore thing. People do like to talk during the movies.
Yeah, we get it here too. It's all of them.
The British are very.
You guys got that right for sure. We have a lot of.
We should be.
we have a lot of annoyance in theaters of exactly the type of things Sandy's describing. I remember going to watch Endgame in theater, Avengers Endgame.
Oh my God.
There was one. It was. I believe it was a couple that was next to me, a few seats down. It was a fairly packed theater, but a few seats down, there was this couple that would not shut up the entire movie. And the woman in the couple had have you ever seen the setting on some people's phones where when they get texts, the flashlight goes off like a strobe?
Oh,
it is one of the most crazy settings I think anybody could put on to purposely opt into on their phone. I don't know what that does for you or how you enjoy having your phone go off like a club strobe light every time you get a text. But this woman had it, and she had it on in the theater, and she never thought once that it was a problem for anybody around her. And I'm similar to you, Sandy, where like I'm not going to freak out on anybody. I'm not going to yell like, "Hey, you in the front, sit down and shut up." But I will just sit there and be it takes me away from the movie because I just get so discouraged and aggravated with how
they're ruining my experience that I paid for too.
As polite people who, I go through life, even in public situations around strangers I don't know, always trying to be courteous of those around me. I mean, I think it's a pretty common way well-mannered people go through life. And I get so frustrated when I see people who don't seem to have that respect for others because I can't understand why you don't. But yeah, that is always a downside of theaters where you will run into that. I will say in my theater going experience, I've run into that far less times than I've had good movie going experiences. That's definitely on the slimmer side of the numbers. But it does happen. And when it does happen, it does really kind of ruin the movie experience. And for the record, AWOL, I was reading your message there. I totally understand why those would be your reasons for watching at home. And I don't blame anybody. I truly don't. I enjoy watching a movie at home as much as the next person. So I get it.
And the audio too. There's that fine line between amazing surround sound and oh my God,
and
it's
watching
too loud.
Tenet and you can't hear anything.
Yes. I can't.
There's some like movies like Dune, the first one. That was cinema music.
Oh, it was great.
The music of that was better than the film. I'd say like that, which is like, oh, that's my
fair enough.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was it Tenet? There was one recent. I can't remember which one it was. It was a Nolan film. And oh my God, the sound design on it was awful. It was so loud. I want to say it was Tenet, but now I'm forgetting. But oh my God, it was like rattle your brain loud.
I hope you think it was Tenet because I think Dunkirk was perfect. I think what he did.
Oh no,
I
know it wasn't Dunkirk because I didn't see Dunkirk in theaters. I'd actually watched that one at home. I want to say it was Tenet. No, because Tenet was at home release because that was during 2020. I can't remember which one it was, but man, there was one Nolan movie where the sound was just like, and I love Nolan movies.
Was it the one on the bridge? Was that Nolan? Tinker Tailor Soldier Spot? Was that the one?
No, that
Can't
wasn't
be in there,
Nolan.
was it?
No.
I don't think it was Interstellar because I don't
No,
remember
it
having
wasn't
an issue with Interstellar. I don't know, there's one of his movies where the sound is just
I
way
love
too
this.
loud.
Is old people brains just dilate.
Yeah, the thing about Nolan too, sometimes his movies blend a little bit for me. Although I do love them all, they do tend to blend sometimes in terms of like the timeline of release. But regardless, yeah, there are some where it just disorients you. You can't focus on anything because the sound is just way too loud.
But talking about good movies, shall we do the wheel?
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
time for the wheel. Remind everyone. So next week it's Casualties of War.
Now, Sandy's not seen it. Jay?
I have not. And actually might have will have a slight schedule. I forgot to mention this to you. So we'll have to talk behind scenes about schedule for next week.
That's fine. That's fine. We've gone all over the place on schedule lately. We don't mind. But yeah, Casualties of War, Michael J. Fox, very young Michael J. Fox in a Vietnam movie. Yeah, so this is going to be my pick that time. Yeah, Casualties of War. Next, I'm gonna have to go by the top 3 that I can see on the right hand side there.
Oh, there's the Marshal. Yeah.
We talked about it.
Fargo. There we go.
Hey, I see Tarzan too. You never know. This might be the week.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, what we talked about before you joined, I believe,
there we go,
was the Blues Brothers.
There we go. That's there as well. Look,
I found it on TCM. There it is. I found it on TCM this morning. And my question to you, sir, have you seen the Blues Brothers?
Yes, but years ago and was too little to really
long
register
as you've seen it, long as you've seen it, we're good. We're good.
Yep. I was just too little to truly get the humor. That'll have to be another adult rewatch.
Also, that we were talking about on this.
Oh, and the Name of the Father too.
Name of the Father. That's mine. That definitely is mine. All right. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, there's Independence Day too. We said
Oh yeah.
No, we didn't. We were talking about Men in Black. No. Sorry, we were talking Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black.
You can have it. Oh, Jay, look at that, and then just behind it.
I already know that one. Sleeping with the Enemy.
Okay.
For the record, by the way, the day that we were talking about that, I think it was when Sandy's husband got the pick. I went downstairs and I was like, "So we got this thing going on." I explained it. I'm like, "It would be partner's pick. What would yours be?" Immediately, she just goes, "Sleeping with the Enemy." I'm like, "I knew it. I know my wife."
You know your wife.
Jade has gone like, what genre? How long should it be? What is this?
Well, that's the beauty of my wife not having seen too many films.
Something you like. Just put it in there. She went, yeah, but does it need to be a subject or topic? Does it need to be this? Like, something you like.
It was easy on my end.
Dancing or something. But anyway, let's do this. I'm going to go for comedy. It's going to be a comedy pick.
I'm going to
go. That would be
nice.
One
of my picks. I just don't know which one, and not like my picks on the list. One of like Jay picks, whatever type of things. I think I'm going to try to make up some
what do you
ground.
think? What do you fancy?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I say it every week.
All right,
eventually we'll get it. What did they say? Broken clock, right? Twice a day.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Only 306 to go. Oh, it's going to be Jay's pick, is it? Oh, no.
Oh, it is one of my picks, though. This is one of mine.
Your pick.
All right, I'll take it. I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a while either.
Love this film.
Oh, I love this one. I wonder.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm curious. And Tom Hanks. Yeah, and Tom Hanks.
My kids love this film.
Yeah, a lot of people I know in my generation do as well. I'm wondering if this is kind of like one of those generational films that might have hit our group, because I know a lot of my friends love this as well. This is a super popular movie amongst my friends. Oh,
it's another group. Christopher Walken.
Yes, it is.
Yes, he is. Yes,
he's the father. Yep. Frank Abagnale Sr., I believe, because I believe it's Frank Abagnale Jr.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. I can't wait for that.
This isn't. When was this made? This was what?
2002 or 3-ish, I would say. Maybe 4 at the latest.
2002.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. I thought it'd be later than that.
I still remember the very first time watching this. My parents were on vacation. I believe they were on a cruise. My uncle was watching us, and he told me and my brother, "Hey, I got a movie that's going to blow your guys' mind." And we watched it, and as a kid, I thought it was just the most clever movie I've ever seen. Since then, I've seen.
Oh, it's so smart. It's so smart.
So since then, I've seen a lot of smart movies or clever movies. So I'm curious to see it. And I do watch this one fairly frequently, but it has been probably at least, oh my God, it might be more than 5-6 years now. So I guess maybe I don't watch it as frequently as I used to. So I'll be curious to see how it ranks among clever films in my mind now.
Oh, Amy Adams is in this too.
That's right.
Yeah.
She plays one of his love interests.
You hate her?
She's very annoying in it. Yep. You do feel a little bad for her though. When she's got the braces and he manipulates. I mean, the guy manipulates everybody.
This is our first Martin Sheen. This is our first James Brolin. Okay.
Who played Electra? Isn't she in this?
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. She's the hooker.
Yep, she's in it.
She is, yes, when he's playing the whole 007 thing. Yes, I forgot about that. That's right. Wow. Jeez. Good cast.
Yeah. Elizabeth Banks.
Oh my God, that's right.
There's a lot of
people in that one.
A lot of names in this one.
And this is quite good. Because the next movie is quite hard hitting. This is kind of...
Oh, that's this will be a nice change of pace afterwards. Then
it would be quite a nice change of
I don't know if my wife's seen this. This will be a fun one to show her if she hasn't.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but good pick. I like it. So yeah, is this our first Leo?
It's our first Leo.
I'm trying to think. We didn't have anything where he's got a minor role, right?
Nope.
I'm trying to have a look.
Yeah. This is our first one. Until we get
any others. What have we got on with him?
Well, it will be
Shutter Island. We've got
Shutter Island. I did put Shutter Island on there. It sounds like Titanic might make an appearance from Sandy.
I Hate It. Yeah.
No
question about that.
I didn't.
I have to say, do not dare, but I put bloody Twilight on there. Oh my God.
I didn't put The Departed on my list because it's not one of my
favorites. It has to be on your list.
Because it's not really one of my favorites, but I do enjoy that movie. So maybe it shows up as one of my picks. But I don't think I've got much Leo on there.
It is quintessential Boston, though. The Departed.
It is. You have to watch.
You put it on there. I have
The Departed in the Town. You have to watch both of them.
Baltimore, yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna my older daughter and I will sit down and watch it. I'm sure she will be happy to. She's a big Leo fan too. I think that's where that all started.
Well, I actually am as well. So I'm surprised I didn't put more of his movies on there. I think I just got a little bit too rushed when I made my list and I forgot to. All right. I know. I was watching over here. I've got it on my phone. It's 2 games in a row. We're going to lose to those bums.
Hey, you got 2 more innings, haven't you? That's easy.
We've got, I think we've got, no, just tomorrow night because it's Saturday. I keep forgetting what date it is.
We've got 2 more innings. It's in the,
top of the 8th right now. So we still got 8th, 9th. And then we've got the Sunday. I believe we have the night game tomorrow because
you got plenty of
Yankees
time.
almost always get Sunday night baseball.
That would be humiliating.
Yeah, still got time. We're in a wild card spot. We're only one game behind them, but every game you lose against the damn Yankees hurts.
It does. I agree.
There's nothing you can do about it. It never feels good.
Oh, good. But anyway, we got some good ones on the way. I put this up like our last on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Our last, like what's coming up, and our last. It's great. I love it because it's just it's been.
It's always different.
Oh, you have no idea what the wheel will give us any given week. It's all over the place.
Yeah. So if you love a bit of movies, always catch us. Jay's going to tell us our schedule next week.
Yes.
It's
not looking great for me. I'll let you know that now. But we'll see what we're going to do.
Hold it. When's the Ryder Cup? Is that why?
Oh, God, that is coming up. When is that?
That is in 2 weeks.
It should be this month, right? Yeah. God, I didn't even look at the teams. Have they selected all the teams yet?
Yes.
They did, right? Wasn't that a while ago? Because I remember people
were kick your ass.
Well, they were complaining Bryson didn't make it, I think, because of the live golf stuff. So I haven't even looked at what the actual teams are.
Starts September 26th.
Nice. That'll be a lot of fun.
It will be because we win.
Yeah, we'll see.
There we go. But there we go. Sandy's gonna be like, we're gonna talk about Ryder Cup, aren't we?
Hey, I'm okay with that after reading the
Okay,
book
good. I
and
like that. I
watching the
like it.
film. Again, I would have never gotten into a golf film. I wouldn't have thought about it ever if it hadn't come up. And Jay, thank you, because I've really enjoyed it. And you know,
I think the last day of the Ryder Cup, if the score is very close, is the best.
Oh, it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
It like TV ever, and it's
Oh,
just also the commentators. Everything is just it gets you hooked. It gets you hooked.
If
oh,
it's
how
a
nice.
blowout, it sucks because there's just nothing really
If one
there.
team goes all the way, they
Yeah.
get like, oh, they're too good. I think remember when, like, I think it was like last time. I think it was like US were like 7 point like up, and it was just like boring.
Yeah,
Now.
and even
It
as the
has to be like
winners,
1 or 2.
right? Even if you're on the winning side of that, it's just boring. You like to see
Yeah.
it come down to that last day in some good old fashioned competition.
Remember when I did it in Spain, and I think it was like Europe were like 8 points, like on the second day, and it was just like, oh, there's no way you can claw that back, and it was just boring. Has to be like the last couple of holes, and it's like everybody goes mental. It's brilliant. It's just great.
Well, that's when golf becomes, like it does in the greatest game ever played. It's when it becomes cinematic. It just when it becomes
it does. It's just like
scenes. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. But everybody, I hope you've had a great little bit of the Fugitive and a lot of detours.
Quite a few. Can't even remember where they stopped off at.
This is nearly a 4-hour one. I didn't expect to be 4 hours. I must say that. I was like, okay, but we've had a lot of 20 minutes. But we love it. That's what Film Club did. And we had a week off. And we miss you. I missed you guys talking about Film Club.
Likewise. If you couldn't tell the way we just couldn't stop talking all episode.
Exactly.
Like little kindergartners getting back together. What did you do in your weekend? Well, here's what I did in my weekend.
What did you do this weekend?
I caught a bear.
Yeah. Everybody, next club, Casualties of War. I'm guessing it's a very different Vietnam one, but not really need to be there. But have a great rest of the weekend. I'm going to go and blow my nose. I think it's got bonged up and get to bed. To find out my girlfriend's really ill, unfortunately.
Oh, so Jade, take care.
And I've got to go now to I think it's a 70th birthday party on a train. Don't ask me why, it just happens. But everybody, to Jay, what you got coming up?
Honestly, not even too sure. So just as always, tune in next week or whenever for the next film club. And then at least the one that I'll be here for. And then just keep an eye out for the Nerd Takes channel. You know the deal. I always appreciate it.
Excellent. Do it.
Awesome,
sub.
Looking forward to more
I will
videos
not talk to
from
you
you,
ever
Jay.
again. But Jay, did you hear the news?
What?
Sandy reached over at 1,000
I did.
subs.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Congratulations.
Sandy.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, Sandy, what are you doing there now? Our proper YouTuber.
Yeah, it's I was just surprised. Sometimes I get, 5 or 6 subs in a stream. Sometimes I get 29 or 40 in a stream.
That's awesome.
Crazy. It's crazy. People like to watch me wander. And I know Jay, you joined me. I was wandering around Washington, DC.
That night stream was wonderful. What a beautiful night that was.
It was so clear. It was so clear and quiet. And I was waiting for my kid to she was at a concert. I was waiting to pick her up.
This was late on our time.
This was very late. But it was crystal clear and beautiful. And I don't know, I had 150 people watching me, which is awesome. And then people literally, the minute I got over 1,000, people like from adjacent to our sector of friends started contacting me and wanting to pair up with me. It's like, oh, that must be it. Now I'm magically over 1,000. Now you
is
want to
that
be my
the-
friend.
That's how that works.
But still need those watch hours because most of my, 90% of my videos are 16 to 18 seconds long. So I don't have a lot of watch hours. I am live streaming tonight. I'm going to see
Oh, nice.
how fireworks look on a live stream. So tonight is this is Defenders Day weekend in Baltimore. This is the weekend when we remember the citizens and soldiers of Baltimore that beat back those British in 1814 and resulted in the writing of our national anthem.
Let's
Because
go.
in the morning, when it was all done and all said and done, Francis Scott Key looked out from the prison ship where he was held prisoner and saw that our flag was still there. And so this morning I went to the fort for the raising of the flag, and tonight is fireworks. So we'll see if fireworks work on a live stream. So in about an hour and 10 minutes, the fireworks will start when it gets dark here. So that's what I'm doing. And then I need to take a break tomorrow. I'm still healing. I'm still getting better too, getting over a cold and just some overall exhaustion. And thanks everyone for their patience last week. And just looking forward to getting back together with this crew to keep talking about movies, because we only have 274 more to go. What are we going to do in the next, when we're done in 12 years? So hopefully they'll keep making movies and we can add one or two on the list once in a while.
Give us like one or two every year, something to add to it.
Yeah,
Nice.
none from this year.
Well, for us who I think, I know myself, wasn't expecting too much out of this year, I keep hearing these little movies that I hadn't heard anything about. That movie Weapons, in terms of when I was looking at kind of what was coming out in the year ahead, that movie Weapons, and there's been a couple other ones I feel like that people keep saying are pretty good. So I have to, I myself am going to start trying to make a more concentrated effort on getting away from what I'm expecting and being more open to not expecting things to be good and just giving some of these movies a try. Sinners was another one earlier this year that wasn't one I kept seeing on lists of like movies to look out for in 2025. That one was allegedly really good. So I'm becoming more optimistic about the quality of films out there. Maybe not the big tentpole or big, franchises that we love and the redos and the reboots and all that kind of stuff. I'm not as much looking forward to those, but I don't know, some of these kind of not weird, but no name titles, or at least not belonging, I guess what we've always been asking for, these new original titles. I almost forgot what to call them because we're not accustomed to having original stories and original movies. Some of these new original movies coming out seem to be getting good buzz. So I'm becoming increasingly optimistic about film going forward.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Cool. I'm rewatching Band of Brothers, so
nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
And my girlfriend's so ill. I'm in episode 4, and she hasn't realized I'm watching it. So I've had it up quite loud, and she's that ill. And
it's not fun.
There you go.
Well, here's its thread, because one of the stars of Catch Me If You Can, Frank John Hughes, plays Guinevere in Band of Brothers.
Oh, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh,
yes, he does. Yes.
And I just remember that gentleman, as they're showing the real life characters and the stories that they told. I remember the characters by the real life people who were telling the story. So I remember that gentleman, and he was, they all broke up at one point, and cried. But I remember that gentleman really crying because he's the one who saw the gentleman who lost his legs. And oh my gosh. I'm planning a rewatch too. Not soon.
It has to be. You have to do your rewatches.
Before Veterans Day, that'd be a nice thing to do.
But that's good. But everybody, have a great rest of the weekend. Take care of me for tomorrow on a train journey with some
Wishing
egg
you
mayo
well.
sandwiches and a lot of snotty old people talking about whatever. I don't know.
Good luck.
I'm probably gonna.
Are you sure you can't just catch what Jade has between now and then and skip it?
You can't, because they've planned it all around my kid. Like flying a train, because he's like,
Oh,
and the
fair
worst
enough,
thing,
fair
he's starting to come out of the way of trains. Like, oh, he loves trains, and yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
What are you gonna
I
do?
live.
Yeah,
I live it.
one day
Live
he'll
life.
get through it. You'll have some
Yeah,
fun.
and he's like that. He's getting more into sports now, and it's like,
Oh, is he
yeah,
starting to make that jump?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I want to play football instead of playing with my trains, and I'm like, okay,
But you gotta like trains
yeah.
for just one more day, please.
Yeah, just play with it, kid. Just play
act
with
like
it.
you do.
Yeah. But everybody, have a great one. Hopefully, everybody takes. I don't know. You get night nurse, Sandy? Do you have night nurse?
NyQuil. Yes,
We have
NyQuil.
NyQuil, same type of thing. Probably
Yeah,
just
good
way more
stuff.
chemicals.
Knocks you out.
It's so good, isn't it?
It is so good.
You truly never have a better sleep than when you do with a
It's
cold on
true.
NyQuil.
It's
I think that's their
It's like,
tagline in the ad.
Don't
It's
use
true.
the little cup. I shouldn't say this on YouTube. Just drink what you need. Just drink what you
They
need.
banned. There was a thing called night nurse, and they did day nurse.
Yeah, we have
in the
DayQuil.
We have
Yeah.
DayQuil. It makes you speedy.
Nope, day nurse is now banned.
Really?
Oh, does it make you
Because
speedy?
kids realize if they neck it, they get high.
Oh yeah, it makes you crazy here. I love it. It's when I'm sick, it gets me through work.
It does give you a
just
pep in your
telling you
step.
what Sandy's like now. Just let you know.
It knocks
Seeing the
out
wild
all the
side here.
symptoms. It's great. I
An
love
upper
it.
and a downer.
And they sell them in a 2-pack.
They
so
do.
you
They
get
do the
NyQuil.
2-pack combo.
Like,
Yep.
oh my! Yeah, no, we can't get it. It's banned. It's
Yep.
banned now. It's banned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll add it to my list to send you.
But everybody, have a great one. I'm gonna probably play a little bit more Skyrim. I love it at the moment. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's it. Funny. I got
Enjoy.
to do it. Yeah, and that's it.
I'm
But
gonna
everybody,
head up to fireworks. Yay!
there we go. But everybody, have a great one. Catch you when Jay tells us what's going on.
Yeah.
Next
This one's
Wednesday.
on me. I totally forgot to mention this one. This one's on me.
It's probably like, oh, is it going to be one of them ones? It's my brother's
It's not my brother's wedding this
anniversary.
time.
It's my kid's birthday.
No, it's not that. It's one that I
No.
was actually more conscious of. Just totally forgot about the conflict of schedule. So we'll figure that one out.
It's a vasectomy, everybody. Just let you know.
And not yet. I only got one kid. I still got more to have first.
Everybody, have a great one, and we'll speak to you whenever Jay wants us to. For now, bye.